Hey Eli. Hey Abby. Hey Will. Hey Awkward. Hey your favorite witch. Oh, hey Rissa. Hey Tater. Hey Moxie. Is this the new stream time? We don't have a new stream time. I the goal right now is Friday and Saturday nights. Okay, I'm not putting a time on it. As long as it's night, counting it. Um, hey Ronnie. But we're here. I'm set up, ready to go. 30 is a bit late, sir. Time is a construct. Okay. I'm gonna go live on TikTok momentarily. Uh, yeah, kind of. Yeah. How much sleep did you get last night? It's complicated. I don't know. Probably like 6 hours. Okay. I got Xfinity open. Got.
Well, let's see how we say that.
Okay, that's good. Anything I'm forgetting? All right, here we go. Oh, yes. Top likers. It won't appear until I'm live on TikTok, but it should be set. Okay. Here we go. Thank you, Moxie. I do have to see if this still works. Hold on. We used to have a thing where people would send like the sub emotes and they would appear on the screen. But now that they changed sub to super fan, I don't know if it still works in that fashion. Check that. And I think it does, but I don't have it, so I wouldn't know. Hey, why does it show my other name? I don't know. Um, why? Oh, okay. Platform. that? Hey, Mac. Hey, Sid. Wait, can people actually click it, or is it just a visual? There's no way that's clickable, right? Okay. Well, do y'all see right next to Marco, right here? What is that to the right of him? It's like little colors. It's some kind of something. I missed you guys last weekend when my partner was home. Live tonight. Out with y'all. Happy you're here, Arissa. Like the itty bitty symbols? Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. It's going to populate as TikTok chat. I don't know why. I don't know why it looks like that, but up in live chat. Let me open it. I still don't really know what that is, but at least I know what sources. Okay. Get this show on the road here. Huh. It's funny. Oh, I gotta put them here. Rename this. Okay. Sure. Unless we change the font to white. All right, I think that looks better. Okay, all right. Let's get started. Sitting in the wrong place? Camera in the wrong. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. Here we go. Going live on TikTok. Hey, Snaxalotl. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. We're going to be getting started shortly. Howdy, Homac. Hey, Moxie. Hey, Rissa. Ange. On my screen, Moxie was first, Rissa. Hey, KP. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. We got some news to cover, and I'm hoping we can talk to some MAGA because I have some videos for them that I'd like them to explain. Ideally, we got some explaining to do. Thank you, everybody, for your for the heart muse. Wow, way to out women against each other. And says hi, even though she's sleeping. Sleep talking is I do that too, actually. Joe Mencha was a disaster regardless of what Trump says or does. Well, fortunately, Joe Biden actually wasn't the nominee in 2024. It was Kamala Harris, who very clearly doesn't have dementia. You could have voted for her. So I don't know why you would even bring up Joe Biden. Like, it's very clear you wanted Donald Trump. Saying no matter what Trump says or does. So you know he says and does bad stuff. You know that, but you still wouldn't have voted for Kamala. If I ask you right now, everything you know, would you still vote for Donald Trump? You'd say, well, I'm definitely not voting for Kamala. Like, come on. Very, very clearly. You know, I can tell you don't have a profile picture. Still can't thank you enough for the dating show. Well, I'm so happy there was some positive that came out of that. Does sticker still work here? Okay, great. Awesome. All right. Biden / Harris live rent free in MAGA and Trump's head. Yeah. Yeah, Biden especially. You literally cannot watch that man or listen to anything he says without Joe Biden coming up. It's not possible. He's obsessed. All right. So let's get this started here. Thank you, everybody, for the heart muse. Dude, you're pretty good, bro. Oh, thank you. All right, so our first story tonight. By the way, at any point, I'm gonna through this live. Listen, I'm gonna be telling the truth about the administration. So, like, if you get your feelings hurt because your cult leader was attacked or revealed to be the emperor with no clothes, you are always welcome to request up and prove me wrong about anything. We're always welcome. is a super simple process. All you have to do is press the little button next to the chat, like a blue person, pink person. Press that button. Come up, prove me wrong, humiliate me. But while we wait for MAGA to gain some courage, honesty, and to request up, we are going to go over some of the top news stories today. Testicular fortitude. Who started using that? Because I didn't want to steal it without saying I stole this from blank. Can confirm that the ats for other socials, it's not clickable. Okay. Brett Cross. Was it Brett that started it? Okay.
Genuinely, no.
Reset the gift gold, please. Thank you, Big Fun, for the confetti. What gift gold do we want to do? What sound effect do we want to hear today? We could do this. Do that one for now. Proof of death, lack of guests. Yeah, I agree. MAGA is dead. And you know what? We can actually skip to the third story to talk about that. So, a lot of you might not know this. Abby, thank you so much for the level ship. I've never even seen that gift. A lot of you might not know this, but Bugatti, I don't mind you saying that liberals are crying and Trump is better, all that, that's fine, but just say it once. We can all read. Unlike MAGA, we can read. You just gotta say it once. So there is a special election. Say it one more time and you're gonna lose your freedom of speech. Just mix it up. You know, mix it up. Say, Trump is better for the country. I really like Trump's taint. Whatever you want to say, just don't say the same thing because I'm gonna have to mute you for spamming. Anyway, I don't know if you know this, but or a lot of you might not know this. It's a very slept on election right now, but we have a special election coming up in December. Okay. All right. Well, you're going to be muted for 5 minutes. So think about what you've done. All right. We have a special election coming up Tuesday. This Tuesday? December 2nd. And why do you insult 75 million people saying we can't read? Oh, 75 million people are not MAGA. Excuse you. First of all, 77 million people voted for Trump. Not all 77 million people are MAGA, and that's like very clear with any of the polling. A lot of them just got scammed and fooled. If you're MAGA, you're still, well, no, you're not scammed. A lot of people got scammed then, but if you're still MAGA, you didn't get scammed or fooled. You're just like a bad person. I'm insulting you specifically. Anyway, we have a special election coming up for the congressional seat in Tennessee's 6th district. This is a seat that Donald Trump won in 2024 by 22 points. And we have a new poll that just dropped 2 days ago that has the Republican only ahead by 2 points. Polling a week and a half ago had the Republican ahead by 7. And now the Republican is ahead by 2. Tarantula World, if you think I'm a typical liberal, then you should be able to debunk anything I say. I'm going to say a few things. And if you disagree with them, you can just request up and prove me wrong. Here's one thing. If you support Donald Trump right now, you support somebody that spent months actively protecting child molesters. If you support Donald Trump right now, you support somebody who frequently quotes Hitler's book Mein Kampf. If you disagree with either of those two, just request up and prove me wrong. Humiliate me in front of hundreds of people, okay? Thank you. All right. So, Tennessee special election. Pull it up for everybody. The GOP is now spending money in a Trump plus 22 district. They're spending millions of dollars because MAGA is so... Let me rephrase. The Republican Party is so unable to deliver anything for the American people that now that we have an election nearly a year, right, or 10 months since Trump's taken office, a lot of people that did vote for Trump are like, oh, when he said he's going to lower grocery prices on day one, he meant he was going to raise grocery prices. Oh, fuck. Why didn't I realize that? And so they're not going to vote for the Republican. It's a lot of people who voted for Trump back then saw the Republicans shut down the government and sue to prevent SNAP from going to hungry families. Like there's funds that would have went out to SNAP, and Donald Trump came out and sued to prevent it from going. So like if you're like a human, you see that and you're like, oh, he's evil, got it. But you know, if you're evil as well, then you like it. But fortunately for us, there aren't as many evil people. And so we have a district that went to Trump by 22 points is now polling only 2 points for the Republican. And when they asked those that were polled who they were leaning towards, that margin of 2 points goes down to 1 point. All right. We're gonna. Okay. So groups aligned with Trump's political operation. Oh, they're saying no audio. Hold on. Okay. But as Donald Trump's rating approval has steadily dropped over the last few months because of the government shutdown, his handling of SNAP benefits, and the impact of tariffs on farmers and consumers, the Democratic Party has sensed an opportunity. PACs tied to Democratic donors have spent almost $1.8 million in the race to help Bain, and Republican-tied PACs have spent $2.3 million, according to FEC filings as of November 24th. The latest spending in the general election comes after nearly $3 million was spent in the primary, mostly to help ensure Van Epps' victory. So, the previous GOP rep that held that seat won in 2022 by 20 points. He won in 2024 by 20 points. Donald Trump won that district by 22 points. And the GOP has had to spend $2.3 million just so far because of how unpopular the Trump administration is. New Emerson poll came out 2 days ago that showed the Republican only up by 2 in an election that should have been a slam dunk. Now, whatever happens on Tuesday, whether the Democrats are able to eke out a win, or if Van Epps wins by less than 5 percentage points, obviously both sides are going to run the whatever spin they want to. But the reality is, this election is a referendum on the first 10 months of Trump. Not just this one, by the way. There's been 4 special elections so far since Donald Trump was elected. 4 special elections so far. Florida's first district swung 22 points to the left. Let me pull up the other ones. Oh. Florida's first district swung 22 points to the left. The other three districts, which were Florida's 7th? I keep forgetting. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting the second Florida district. And the two Democratic districts that had special elections have swung 15 points to the left since Trump's inauguration. Now, reason I'm bringing this up, I wonder how much of that is just the younger people being aware and actually voting. I'm not sure if it's so much that as it is a less activated right wing, as well as independents. So there's a lot of big factors, okay? So Republicans are going to be less inclined to go vote, right? Because the ones that aren't just like turbo racist or touch kids for a living are seeing that their prices aren't going down, are seeing that like Trump's not really helping them, so they might not show up. They still won't go and vote for the Democrat because they probably have other biases that are leading them to lean right. But they're less inclined to go vote than the Democrats in Nashville that have been watched over the past 10 months, have watched what has taken place, that are obviously excited to be able to voice their minds here. That's number one. Number two, independent support for Donald Trump from back in November, a year ago, to now has tanked. Independents that decided to give Trump a chance for various reasons, whether they got scammed by correlation causation fallacy, thinking that Biden caused the inflation, or they blowing out my damn throat. Thank you, Ali. Or they believed all of the fake news being pushed out by the $44 billion investment that Elon made into Trump's election, right? Literally spent $44 billion to buy Twitter and turn it into a Trump propaganda machine. So, like, there's a lot of reasons. But regardless, independents that went out and voted back in November for Trump, that support has dropped tremendously. So, thank you, Malik. So, if the Democratic nominee here is able to eke out a victory, it would mean that the GOP's House majority is cut to one vote, a majority of two. Now, I'm not going to predict that MTG's district is going to swing, okay? But in a situation where Thomas Massie does vote against fiscally irresponsible bills, we can see an end to a lot of Trump's legislative agenda before the midterms. So if you know anyone in Nashville or in the red suburbs around Nashville, I would make sure to let them know that this Tuesday they have the opportunity to stymie the Trump agenda. Wait, what did Calandis do now? A populist or socialist? So Afton Bain, from what I've seen, is a progressive. I don't know if she describes herself as a democratic socialist or anything like that, but she is a progressive, which points to like a sharp difference between. Some people wanted to like compare her to Connor Lamb when he won his special election, but like that was like a conservative Democrat. So this is a very, very different dynamic. But you saw Trump use the R slur. I did see that. How long have you been on, Dan? 18 minutes. You mean my pillow guy? What happened? Okay, all right. I guess we're going backwards. Okay, so Anyway, long story short, the Tennessee special election, very competitive. GOP is spending millions of dollars to not lose a seat that they won just a year ago by 20 points for the rep and 22 points for the presidency, respectively. Probably going to be live because honestly, any result that doesn't have him winning by double digits is going to be a story. I was in Tennessee today, LOL Nashville Airport. Okay. His rhetoric is slowly getting worse and worse as the year goes on. Oh, yeah, of course. It's I mean, it's becoming, the thing is he's losing his grip on I don't want to say his supporters because obviously that's like tautological. He's losing his grip on his voters. The 77 million people that voted for him, that support has tanked. The Thanksgiving Truth post was insane. I don't know if I saw that one. I mean, I remember the one where he said, "Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, including the haters and losers." I remember that one. I didn't see the one this year, but really quick. All right, we're gonna go to the first point here. We're gonna go over because we're already on Trump's Truth Social. So, all right, this was today. For those of you that haven't seen, this is, I would say it's big news, but in the era of Trump, any document signed by Sleepy Joe Biden with the auto pen, which was approximately 92% of them. I really want to know where he got that figure. Is hereby terminated and of no further force or effect. The auto pen is not allowed to be used if approval is not given by the President of the United States. The radical left, I like that he capitalized radical. The radical left lunatics, like a band, circling Biden around the beautiful Resolute desk in the Oval Office took the presidency away from him. I am hereby canceling all executive orders and anything else that was not directly signed by crooked Joe Biden because the people who operated the auto pen did so illegally. Joe Biden was not involved in the auto pen process, and if he says he was, he will be brought up on charges of perjury. Thank you for your attention to this matter. After the Department of Education downgraded nurses preventing us from access to grad school loans, he lost RNs. I mean, the fact that he had any RNs in the first place will always boggle me, but that might include all pardons. Yes. The only thing about that is that I have to imagine. First of all, I don't know if any of this part is true. But I have to imagine that he has no proof that Trump, he has no proof that Biden didn't approve the use of the auto pen on whatever he was using him on. That's number one. Number two, I don't think he has the power to do this. This is obviously going to go to the courts. Can't invalidate signatures. Can't rescind pardons. I mean, he can try. Listen. He can do whatever we allow him to do. And over and over and over and over and over again, he has tried to push these boundaries to do more than he's allowed to do. For example, rescinding birthright citizenship, which is in the 14th Amendment. He just tried to do it. He said, all right, executive order, no more birthright citizenship. You also can't charge him with perjury. Biden hasn't testified under oath of anything. Yeah. Well, it's just the old man yelling at cloud meme at this point. But I do want to. I was hoping we'd get some MAGA to come up because I know they're going to come up and be like Biden didn't know what he was signing, so they're invalid. Blah blah blah. And I have a couple questions for MAGA. Okay, I just a couple questions. Okay, the first one, this one's not so bad. All right. First one, I just want to talk about this. This was February 14th, Valentine's Day. Right.
So this first executive order, it prohibits federal funding for COVID-19 mandates, vaccine mandates in schools.
Okay, and that will meaning they want to clear that up,
Yes.
the discrepancy.
So any schools that vaccine mandates in schools.
Okay, and that will meaning they want to clear that up,
Yes.
the discrepancy.
So any schools that require.
Asking what that means, what the executive order means. But you know what? This one's okay. You know, maybe he's just asking for clarification because her verbiage confused him. Right? Let's talk about this one. Okay. So what you're looking at here, this is the CEO of Constellation. And CEO, he's the top executive of Constellation. I might be remembering wrong if he's the CEO. And he goes on like a 5-minute rant about why this executive order is needed, the one that's about to be passed to Donald Trump. Okay, this is at the end of his 5-minute monologue.
I'd rather spend that $35 million, 3 times $105 million, perfecting a design, start building the foundation, and getting going. We need to do this for America.
Are we doing something about the regulatory in here?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to play that again for everybody.
Design, start building the foundation, and getting going. We need to do this for America.
Are we doing something about the regulatory in here?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, you are.
You are,
Because
sir.
that's going to be a big factor.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
That issue I just described will be addressed in this EO. And many.
Notice what he said. He said, "Are you doing something about the regulatory in here?" And the sycophants behind him, or manipulators, however you want to look at it, say, "Well, yes, you are, Mr. President. You are." He asked if they were doing something about the regulatory. What he means is about regulations or regulatory overreach or whatever. But you know, Trump words not so good. He salad very much. But he was very specific with his words. He said, "Are you doing something?" And they said, "Oh yes, you are, Mr. President." He's asking because he doesn't know what's on the order he's signing. Yeah, no, well, I know, and you know. I want MAGA to see it. I want MAGA to see it and be like, huh, it's almost like corporate lobbyists wrote the executive orders and just had him sign them. Just like the pardon of CZ, the CEO of Binance, where he literally in an interview said, "I don't know who this man is. I don't know who I pardoned, but people told me to pardon him." So at what point do you just say it with your chest? That's all I want. Just enough of the gaslighting. Just say it with your chest. Yeah, okay. Trump isn't actually, first of all, he's not very smart, and he's definitely not helping me, but he's hurting the people that I don't like. That's all I want from MAGA. President's going to cancel executive orders, so it is moot to fight on the reason. If this was only for executive orders, I would agree, but this wouldn't compensate anything that was signed by the auto pen. Your sentiment is right here, but I think he says we. Still the same question. Oh yeah. That's fair. Still asking if we are doing something about this. About to pardon the Honduran former president.
Any other?
The regulatory in here?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, you are.
You are,
Because
sir.
that's going to be a big factor.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
That issue.
And then he says, so that's going to be a big factor. So it's not like he had the answer to that question already in his head. Okay. So anyway, but some was it Martina mentioned the other Truth Social post? Since we're already on Truth Social, let's just take a looky loo. Method requires an authenticated user. Okay. right. You know, we'll just read we'll read everything until we get to Thanksgiving, because I haven't seen a lot of these. If Tito Asfura, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, wins for president of Honduras because the United States has so much confidence in him, his policies, and what he will do for the great people of Honduras, we will be very supportive. If he doesn't win, the United States will not be throwing good money after bad, because this is wild after the Argentina bailout, but will not be throwing good money after bad, because a wrong leader can only bring catastrophic results to a country, no matter which country it is. Tito will be a great president, and the United States will work closely with him in order to ensure the success with all of its potential of Honduras. I haven't gotten to the Thanksgiving post. No, I haven't read it. You guys will be watching it in real time. Martina just took the words out of my mouth. So this right here, this is already worse than, I don't know if y'all remember, it doesn't come up as much anymore, but back when we used to debate like the Russian propagandists, like literally Americans that are either being paid by Putin or are being influenced by Russian influence, because they have all the Putin talking points. Back when we used to debate them, they would refer to a private conversation where somebody who worked in the government said,
I'm blowing out my damn throat. I'm blowing out my damn throat. I'm blowing out my damn throat. I'm blowing out my damn throat.
Thank you, Lovey. Thank you so much. You know, that sound effect hits a lot harder now with the new with the Epstein emails, but nice to see you active again. Thank you so much, Lovey. It's I am happy to see all of you. It's been what is this, our fourth live back? I am still getting back into the swing of things. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Okay. So this right here, this True Social post is already worse than everything that was being levied against the United States government in regards to interfering with the Ukrainian election. So basically, there was this Victoria Nuland phone call where somebody who worked for the government, worked for the U.S., mentioned that we would probably prefer Zelensky to win over whoever the other guy was. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care. Thank you, Lovey. Thank you so much. And they took that to mean, oh, okay, so that means that the U.S. interfered in their election and Putin has the right to take back Ukraine. Bro, what? And now what is this? So if a private phone call where they said we probably prefer that person is interference, then what the fuck is this? It actually almost feels, it almost feels counterproductive to point out the hypocrisy, because at this point we know they don't care. Like most videos on TikTok that end up like going super viral from the left, I feel like point out hypocrisy, right? You'll see like this you or whatever, but like what it's almost just like it's almost just like what's the word? What's the word here? It's almost like red meat to our base. Like red meat to the Trump base is quoting Hitler and hating trans people and all that stuff. You know, tweeting about men and women's sports, transgender for everyone. But like for us, it's pointing out like how bad and how hypocritical the GOP is. The problem is, I don't know that pointing out right-wing hypocrisy matters. Ashley, I don't know if pointing out right-wing hypocrisy matters. They don't care, and we know they don't care. Standard projection that they always copy. Yeah. And you know what? This autopen thing is probably yet another projection thing. It's Trump knows that he didn't know what the fuck was going on in these executive orders. So now he wants to say, oh, well, since Biden didn't use his old hand to sign it, that means that that means that it's invalid. Where have you been, Dan? I was on like a month-long hiatus, but we're back now. We're trying to keep to a Friday-Saturday schedule for now. Reagan used the damn auto pen. Okay. Where were we? Additionally, I will be granting a full and complete pardon to former President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who has been, according to many people that I greatly respect, treated very harshly and unfairly. Cannot be allowed to happen, especially now after Tito Ashfura wins the election, when Honduras will be on its way to great political and financial success. Vote for Tito Ashfura for president, and congratulations to Juan Orlando Hernandez on your upcoming pardon. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make Honduras great again. I just want to make sure. Presidents don't normally like tell other countries who to vote for, right? Maybe I'm bugging. I just want to make sure. Okay, and then let's also President Trump said Friday they will be pardoning former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who in 2024 was convicted for drug trafficking and weapons charges and sentenced to 45 years in prison. A defiant former Honduran president, Hernandez was sentenced in New York Wednesday to 45 years in prison for teaming up with some bribe-paying drug traffickers for over a decade to ensure over 400 tons of cocaine made it to the U.S. I can't say this word. TikTok's gonna get mad at me. So, a heads up. I'm gonna start using other words for this. Judge P. Kevin Castell sentenced Hernandez to 45 years in prison and fined him $8 million, saying that the penalty should serve as a warning to well-educated, well-dressed individuals who gain power and think their status insulates them from justice when they do wrong. The jury convicted him in March in Manhattan federal court after a 2-week trial, closely followed in his home country. So, by the way, just as a reminder, when the Trump administration are illegally blowing up ships in the Caribbean and justifying it by saying, well, we're preventing drugs from getting into the U.S., it kind of seems like that's not the full story if you're pardoning people that helped get drugs into the U.S., right? Competition, is it? Press the pink and blue. Oh, yeah. If anyone wants to request, you just press the little button next to chat. They found 400 tons of propane. Louis, thank you for the $2 on YouTube, and also for the great replacement for that word. Invite me up unless you're scared. Why would I be scared of someone who can't even figure out how to invite themselves up? But I will send you an invite. There you go. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Well, you received your invitation. What would you like to discuss?
So I'm actually a halfway Trump supporter and a halfway just normal Republican, but there's not an option in between, so I'm there.
Okay. I think normal Republican is kind of an oxymoron. The only normal Republicans are the people that make over $400,000 a year that vote because it's in their own financial interest.
That would be wrong. You know why?
Go ahead, tell me.
Yeah, because you think about it, if half the population voted for Trump Do you think half the population makes over $400,000 a year?
No, I don't. Obviously, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So that would be a
So-
very fictitious statement.
Okay, so few things for you. Number one, half the population didn't vote for Trump. Not even half of the people
Wait a minute. Half the voting population didn't vote for Trump.
Well, 90 million people didn't vote. Are you saying half the people that went out and voted?
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Still, he didn't break 50%. But let's for argument's sake round up.
Wait, whoa. So you're saying that way than less half the population voted for Trump?
I didn't say way than less. I just said he didn't break 50%. But
he had the popular vote.
I'm aware, but he didn't break 50%. You know what that means, right?
What do you think the popular vote means?
What do you think the popular vote means?
Popular vote means more than 50%. That's the popular vote.
No.
And then it's to the electoral college.
Let me learn you something. Okay, so popular vote just refers to the amount of people that voted individually, right? It's not the electoral votes, it's the votes of each individual, one person, one vote, right? So winning the popular vote, which is what I'm assuming you're trying to say, is receiving a plurality of the popular vote. Do you know the difference between plurality and majority?
So are you saying right now that Trump did not win the majority of the vote?
Yes, that is what I'm saying. He did win the popular vote, but he didn't win a majority of the popular vote.
Okay, so what are you trying to say right now?
All I'm giving you information so that you can expand your mind. I'm just letting you know, because you said half the population voted for Trump. So it's like, okay, well, first of all,
half the population did vote for Trump, because how did he win the presidency?
Because he won a plurality of the electoral votes. That's how he won the presidency.
By state. So what do you think that means? He didn't win it by a minority vote per state and then take the presidency, did he?
Well, the first time in 2016 he did, but in 2024 he won the plurality of both the electoral college.
Okay. So then we come to a full realization. Okay.
What realization?
What you just said.
I know Donald Trump won the election. He just didn't win a majority of the votes. That's all. I'm just telling you a piece of factual information. Here, what?
He won the electoral vote by 312 to 226. What do you think that means? Between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, he won 312 to 226. He
We're not arguing that. Big dogs. We're not arguing that.
Well, then what are you arguing? You're saying that like he barely won or he didn't win or...
I'm going to tell you my sentence.
Have you looked at the electoral map for what was red and what was
I never
blue?
looked. No, I never looked at it actually.
You should, because it's amazingly red and amazingly not blue.
Yeah, I understand. Land can't vote, by the way. But that's neither here nor there. If you know what, I will teach you about the electoral college shortly. I just want to really. I don't think you're going to be able to handle both, talking about the popular vote and the electoral vote at the same time. So we'll go back to the electoral vote and the flaws with that. Let's just talk about the popular vote, okay? Do you understand that Donald Trump won the popular vote, but did not win a majority of the popular vote?
He won popular vote by 77 million to Kamala Harris's 75 million. So 49.8% to 48.3%.
What was that? What was that first percentage? Go ahead. 49.8, right?
0.8 to 48.3.
The majority requires 50% plus one vote. That's a majority.
Oh my God! Now we're splitting hairs.
No,
even though he was 2 million over, 2 million.
I never disagreed with you. I was just letting you know because you said
I know,
that.
but you were trying to have a fictitious argument right there, and you got caught in your bullshit little
The argument
lie.
is exactly the same. You said half the country voted for Donald Trump, but there's three caveats. Caveat number one:
half the country did.
No. Okay. Let me just
77 million.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you for just 1 second for this one sentence, okay? And then you can unmute. Just don't interrupt this one sentence, okay? So you said half the country voted for Donald Trump, but that has three caveats, right? Three caveats. Caveat number one, the entire country can't vote in the first place. Okay. Caveat number two, 90 million people didn't vote. Caveat number three, of the people that did vote, he didn't even win half. So yes, the sentence you said is true if you ignore all of those three things. All I was
you just
doing.
made up three things, like where the people were like, let's ignore that 152 million people voted, and half of the
not
people
ignoring
that
that.
voted for him.
I'm not
You
Smoothie. I'm
just
not
did.
ignoring
You're
that.
you're just like, oh, well, what if there was 300 million people that could vote, and only 150 million people voted, and then only out of those 150 million people, that's a bullshit lie, man.
All I'm doing,
It's a
Bill,
bullshit
all
lie.
I'm doing, Bill, all I'm doing is I'm making sure that sentences on my platform are not false. You said something that was false.
No, you're saying stuff that you're just trying to skew to your platform.
Don't forget, Trump saved TikTok.
Yep. Where are you on right now? Are you on TikTok?
You're right. You know what? I should give him the Bubba treatment. Wait, no. Bring your friend.
God.
Bring your friend. He's right. Trump saved TikTok, so I should do what he did to Bill Clinton, right? Is that what you want? Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, it makes no sense.
Platform is Trump.
It makes no sense that you would say that he didn't get the popular vote when you know he got the popular vote, and out of the people that voted, he still won, and then you're still like, oh, well, maybe he didn't win.
When did I say maybe he didn't? Your brain has to have a distinct lack of wrinkles. I never once said he didn't win.
Look at the map right now. Pull up the map on your screen right now for everybody, so you can see.
Bill.
Oh, he's getting scared.
I agree that Donald Trump won the election. We don't need to go through all that, okay? I know that you guys are jerking it right now thinking about looking at that map. I get it. Yes, it's so red. I don't need to see it again. I know. All I'm telling you is that the statement, half the country voted for Donald Trump, is wrong at worst or misleading at best. And all I was doing,
it's not wrong.
If you could do me a favor and make sure that my sentence has concluded before you start your sentence, that would be really appreciated. I know Trump supporters can be super emotional.
77 million and 75 million. It's half the country voted for him that voted. You're lying.
How many people do you think voted?
Yeah. 152 million.
And what percentage is half out of 100? On a scale of 1 to
7 million, half.
On a scale of 0 to 100, what percentage is half?
Over 50%.
There you go. Notice how he didn't get over 50% of the votes.
Oh my God, are you stupid?
He got 49.8.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Wait. Can I talk to the guy in the background? He sounds smarter than you. Bring your friend up. I'll talk to him.
He got half the country because it's less than the other half of the country. Do you understand what's less than half? Okay, let's make this, we'll dumb it down really quick.
Please.
What did Kamala get compared to
Kamala got 75 million votes.
Okay, how many did he get?
77 million.
All right, so did he get half the country?
No.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Now we're
if he got half the country, why is that percentage not 50?
He
got 77 million and she got 75 million. How is it not?
How are you guys losing a 2v1? This is rough, bro. What number's bigger, 50 or 49.8?
Oh my God.
49.8.
So you're still in the camp.
Jesus Christ.
He's still in the camp.
He
Bill,
wants to let all the illegals in too.
You know when it's above 0.6, you round up.
If you guys want to round up, that's fine. If Trump needs to round up for his ego, that's fine.
You need to round down for your ego.
Bill and Ted,
you're like, oh, he only won by 2 million votes.
Yeah,
listen. How dumb that sounds?
You just said all you had to say was Donald Trump won the popular vote, and we would have moved on. But
oh my God, you're acting like he didn't win the popular vote by winning by 2 million votes in the entire country. The entire country. You're acting like, oh, he didn't really win it. He only won it by a fraction.
When did I say that? When did I say he didn't really win it?
It's so stupid.
America voted for Trump.
Yeah, I mean that's what's so crazy.
Like literally most of America voted.
Even to this day.
America. Well, okay. How many people live in America?
How many people voted in America? That's what you need to ask yourself. You're mad because more people didn't vote that lived in America. If 77
you're right. I wanted all the illegals to vote. Yeah, okay. You guys, there's no way you guys are sentient, right? This is just two NPCs.
We know you want all the illegals to vote. We always knew that beforehand. I know you walked right into that one, didn't you? You didn't.
No. Wait,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
chat.
That was part of the
No. These have to be high level trolls. No. They can't be this stupid. They can't. This is not real.
Biden auto pen.
77 million compared to 75 million. It's a big number difference.
Okay, Bill,
And
watch
we can
this.
understand the difference in
Billion.
those because it's so crazy.
77 million is more than 75 million. Donald John Trump won the 2024 election. However, he did not win a majority of the votes, which is what you keep implying. If you'd like to continue the conversation, all we need to do is talk about how a plurality of the voters voted for Donald Trump, or talk about how he won the election. But what I can't do is I can't have you keep saying that half the country, or what your backup friend said, most of the country voted for Donald Trump, because those are lies. I just don't want lies. That's all.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that because 77 million people voted for him and 75 million people voted for her, that maybe she had more of the country vote for her than him?
No. You're not grasping what I'm saying.
What is your fucking argument? Because it makes no fucking sense. You're talking in goddamn circles like a crazy left lunatic.
Okay. I will walk you through it one last time.
All right. Because 77 million is less than 75 million, so he cannot be the popular vote because he had 2 more million votes. And because 75 million is greater than 77 million, and it was never a popular vote because it shouldn't have been a popular vote. And then that woman won because she had 2 million less votes.
I have something that. Oh, wait, I have something that's going to explain this all.
I got to leave your conversation.
Wait,
right
perfect. Bill, wait, shut the fuck up for a second. I have something that's going to chat. If y'all know this reference, oh, he ran. Okay, if y'all know this is who he sounds like.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the 3-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 1/3 chance of winning. But I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me and he's not even going to try. So Samoa Joe, you take your 33 1/3 chance minus my 25% chance and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning if we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 2/3%. I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. You know, they say all men are created equal.
Yeah. 49 is the new 50%. One thing I need to stress to everybody, okay? One thing I need to stress to everybody is those two people, they drive on the same roads as you.
You talk about extreme.
Thank you, Brian. Like when you're in your metal death trap, driving next to other people in their metal death trap, right? It's important to know that most other people in those metal death traps are not light speed stupid, right? Your hope is like, okay, they will be able to determine when and when not to change lanes, when and when not to stop. Like if there's a light that's red, that's a good time to stop. And like who we just spoke to, I'm not confident in that. I'm not. I just don't get it. I tried so hard to just baby them through it. It's like they needed their rituals. Like you better give Trump the Bubba treatment. Otherwise, we're not going to continue this conversation. Man. You have to talk about how many votes he got. Big toddlers. Welcome in, Erica Raiders. Welcome in. Can you play the clip again? The Scott Steiner math? Oh no, not the Is this gonna be a time-honored tradition that the Erica raids are accompanied with EUs? I can't see my text. You should get a whiteboard. Oh my god. Oh wait. Oh my god. Okay. Y'all remember in the last slide when we introduced the new method of keeping track of the guests' points? Hold on. Where's that? Give me 1 second. Welcome in, Erica Raiders. Welcome in. That's it. I have so many freaking text boxes. Not that one. Ah, there we go. Okay. Guess points, yeah. So like we forgot to do that guess. Thank you, Martina. I will get there. We got to do that. Okay, guess points. 77 big. Red land big. You should have said he didn't break 50% with third-party candidate. I mean, if he had given me a chance to like have the floor for more than 10 seconds, I could have brought that up. The problem is that he kept unintentionally strawmanning because he just couldn't understand. He said, "So you're saying 77 is smaller than 75?" No, that's not what I'm saying. And then he's like, "Okay, so you're saying that 77 isn't enough to win the election?" I was like, "No, that's not what I'm saying." He was too emotional for that combo. Yeah, come on, man. For real. Okay. All right. We're going to go back to what we were doing, which was reading Trump's Truth Social. Unfortunately. Oh, wait, no. We were reading Trump's Truth Social, which led us to looking up the guy he's pardoning. He's pardoning a prolific drug trafficker who helped to traffic those into the U.S., by the way. Whiteboard would be a good way to visualize it. Didn't get to the Thanksgiving post yet. We didn't even get through one. That guy was crap. First of all, we should have known where that was going when he couldn't figure out how to request. He required me to send him an invite. He said, invite me up unless you're scared. Okay. So, I'm sorry for the distraction, y'all. Hopefully the next Trump supporter that requests up will not have sub-freezing point IQ. Okay, so Donald J. Trump. Y'all are lucky I have ad block on, because otherwise we'd be getting so many ivermectin ads. And I say that unironically. Unironically, if you go to Truth Social without some kind of ad block, they're selling ivermectin still. To be fair, Dan, requiring the guests to know Arabic numbers is a lot to ask. That's funny. Welcome again, Erica Raiders. I don't know if Erica's here, but thank you for the raid. You're still setting the bar too high. Wait, oh my God, there's more. Okay. Democracy is on trial in the coming elections in the beautiful country of Honduras on November 30th. Will Maduro and his narco-terrorists take over another country like they have taken over Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela? The man who is standing up for democracy and fighting against Maduro is Tito Asfura, the presidential candidate of the National Party. Tito was the highly successful mayor of Tegucigalpa, I think is how it's pronounced, where he brought running water to millions and paved hundreds of kilometers of roads. His chief opponent is Rixi Moncada, who says Fidel Castro is her idol. Normally, the smart people of Honduras would reject. Brand new here. Erica says, "Ew, lol." It's a running inside joke from how Eric and I met originally. Hey, Taro. What am I hearing? Oh, that's Eric.
Hey.
Hey, Erica.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you for the raid.
Of course. I was wondering, like, did he see it? I did the you thing again, but this time I said draw some hearts for Dan. So you know it's real.
So you know it's real. I appreciate that.
Hey, yo, dude, you have to set up the whatchamacallit. You have to set up what's it called? I need to put my AirPod on. What's it called, Dan? It's called redirect on YouTube.
Read out what?
It's called redirect on YouTube, so like someone can send you a raid on the tube.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where is that in the settings?
Is it yeah, studio, and then you have to allow the redirects, and don't ask me, I don't remember how to do that part. I just know how to send them now.
Okay.
Let me look at the
Someone
instructions.
remind me after the live. But thank
Okay.
you. I
Of
will
course.
definitely. There's actually a lot that I still need to do. How do you get guests like on YouTube?
Guest on YouTube?
No, like
Uh
so on my YouTube live, they can't see the guests. They can't see you right now on my YouTube live.
oh no, they can't.
But on your
That's
YouTube
weird.
lives they can.
Yeah, and I'm using studio too now. I don't know. Let me see something. That's weird. Where are you streaming like to YouTube via OBS or are you
Yeah.
using StreamYard? Oh, it's OBS?
Ask Santana. That's how his are. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah,
let's
I'm
see
on OBS.
here.
Taro, thank you for the $2. Fun fact: brown eggs are whole wheat. Interesting.
No, so when he uses OBS, the only times he would use OBS is if he's doing late nights. When he is doing, I don't know why they say Accentana. That's how his are. I'm right here. When he is doing sparring, he does it via his phone. So there's that. And I use Studio now to do mine, and I can see the guests. Maybe I have to change the layout, or maybe it's just OBS. I don't know.
Gemini, you lock OBS to the TikTok studio.
What does that even mean?
Go Flamingo 465 justice for the winners. I will
Oh,
I may
Dan,
message you about that, but
I'll figure out how to do redirects for you, and I'll just send it to you. I'll text it to you. Um, did you see the cool thing that I did? I can't be like you because you're amazing. But whenever someone sends a gift that's over 99 cents, all right, it does the fireworks on the screen.
I think I does it show like the person's name too? Yeah, like that.
It makes me so happy. It's neat.
I just followed you, Dan. Turn on notifications. So I should be getting notice when you're online. Oh, thank you so much, Ruth. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Got some hearts in the chat for Ruth. All right, I'll let you get back to debates. Don't want to hold you up.
Oh no, you're totally fine. We had one debate today, and um the debate was whether 77 million people was half the country.
I'm sorry, what?
Um, two people, roommates, lovers, I'm not sure, that were in the same room and were both arguing that 77 people is half the country. In fact, the other guy was arguing that it was most of the country.
So, so it was two people sharing a brain cell?
Yes.
That's wicked work. That is so awful. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Why are we doing that? Do they know how many people are in the country? No, they don't, because
When I
they think that's
asked, he got
sad.
really mad. Said,
No,
"Well, I'm talking about the people that voted." And I said, "Okay, well, even then,
even then,
it's
it's
not
still not.
50%." And then he
Yeah,
reads it off Google that it's 49.8, and he gets
he
more
got
mad.
madder. Yeah, he was like, "Err, Google wrong."
But yeah, so what we're doing is actually we're just going through Trump's Truth Social because I
Oh
haven't seen his
Lord.
Thanksgiving post yet, and I figured we'll just scroll down and see everything in his stream of consciousness, and then as MAGA gets upset, they can request up.
You want to, have you ever seen my Trump impression outside of a video?
I don't know.
You haven't? You should see it. You know what's crazy work though is that I think I did it twice before. I just would scroll through his True Social and then read them like him. It's a lot of work. It hurts almost even because his voice is so weird. But I can't talk about his voice because people get mad about that.
I
Shauna loves a sniff, by the way.
if it weren't for like there being so many good impressionists, I would probably work on one, but I guess I just read. You know what? I'll try it for the rest of this
What?
post.
Yeah, because like my impression is the best. All right, I'm trying to find a good post to read to you. It has to be short though because I need my voice. Okay, you ready?
Mm.
This one is from 22 hours ago, so yesterday. All right, or is that this morning? I don't fucking know. Twilight's glass gleaming. Can America be saved? Yes, by the great Todd Stearns, a fantastic new book.
Come on,
Get it
man.
now, President DJT. There we go. See, it's great, right? It's better than Jaden's.
I can lie. That is the best Trump impression I've ever heard.
Thank you. See, I knew it. It was fucking awesome. What are you talking about here? Like, what? Give me my roses. Shit. Good at this. Been practicing too. Sometimes it's like, sometimes it can be even better.
I will only listen to Eric and Ari do Trump impression. All right, yeah. Let's go. Wait, let's compare it to the real thing real quick.
Well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Is that okay?
See? On point. The best. The best. You want to hear it again? I got more.
If I wasn't following already, I'd follow Erica for that spot on impression alone. Really quick, before
I know,
Erica does
right?
drop, if you're following me but not following Erica, now is your opportunity. Make sure to drop a follow. And actually,
Oh,
I haven't even mentioned following. It's been an hour and 5 minutes. I haven't said it. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for being here. We're live Friday and Saturday nights doing political debates, political discussions, and fact checks. So if you like this content, drop a follow, tap the screen. Thank you all so much.
yes, do all of the good things for Dan. All right. Oh, this person's. Do you want to talk to someone? Because they seem to be a hater.
I'm sorry.
Wait, this person? Hey, yeah, it's Zoe is a hater?
I'm sorry.
No, they were just in your comments.
I can't stop
This person right here.
I'm so sorry. I'm winning this.
There we go. I sent them an invite.
Thank you, Shauna. Who is this Erica person? Erica is another political creator and my TikTok bestie.
You should ignore here for the vibes. I don't know how they ended up modding for me somehow, but to ask who I am is wild. Like what? What? But somehow they're one of my
Oh, I didn't even
moderators.
realize. I just clicked the name. I know who that is. They're just trolling. Okay.
That's who that is.
That's Chris, right?
No, Corey.
Oh, Corey.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that other person's scared. I'm gonna get out of your hair now. I'm gonna eat some food before Shauna and Hector yell at me. So there's that. Is it? Tell Mac I said hi.
Okay.
What are you doing? What was that?
Well, because now I'm trying to remember what Chris's username was.
Who's Chris?
Might just have the names wrong. I'll get to the bottom of chat. All right. I will tell Mac. Thank you so much, Erica.
Of course. Have a great day, Dan. Guys, do all of the good things for Dan. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay. So, where were we? Wait, okay. I'm sending Erica, I'm sending you something on Discord. Really quick. Okay. We're gonna keep going. Keep the swoop. It looks so cool. Mac is the reason that the swoop still exists. Because it's supposed to be like there. And I get it cut shorter so it stays like that, but he really likes it, so I swear the live will continue. Just give me 1 second. Erica. Dan, why is there only 2 seasons of the anime Dan to Dan? I don't have an answer to that question. Okay. Okay, we're going through the. Thank you, Eric. We're going through the Fruit Social. That's what we were doing. Okay. Tito and I can work together to fight the narco communists and bring needed aid to the people of Honduras. I cannot work with Moncada and the communists, and Nasrallah is not a reliable partner for freedom and cannot be trusted. I hope the people of Honduras vote for freedom and democracy and elect Tito Asfura. As a reminder, this is foreign election interference. The President of the United States should not be telling other countries who they should and shouldn't vote for. Heart gift was so dramatic. I love it. Accordion hand. All right, I'll work the hands into it. Okay. All right. Next. Is this really gonna be every time I need to? The user interface on this site is so bad. Trumplicans. Trump 2028. Yes. I think that's AI, right? I can't even tell because Donald Trump doesn't look like a real human. Gotta do the lip suck thing. It's AI? Okay. Yeah, so we have the president posting an AI picture of himself running for an unconstitutional third term. This is totally normal. This is the new normal. I'm not even shocked by this. Like, I'm just going to keep scrolling. The fact that he posted this again, the fact even his own supporters were clowning on him for this. I cannot believe he posted it again. A 50-year mortgage. Do you know how much that adds to your payments? A 50-year mortgage? God. It's literally just giving extra money to the banks as a policy. He said, all right, so ever since Reagan, it's become impossible to afford anything. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make it so that you'll never own anything. The banks will make more money, but you can live somewhere, I guess. I'm waiting for the 100-year mortgage. That's when you know it'll get good. At some point, I don't know what the point is. You could probably calculate based on average life expectancy. But you're renting from a bank with a 50-year mortgage? Yeah, Shauna, that's what I was about to say. Like, I'd rather just rent. They said you'll own nothing and you'll like it. Like, this is just renting with extra steps. And also, you have to do your own repairs. Let's get those afterlife mortgages. Hi, welcome up.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Problem.
Yeah, so if possible, maybe we address what you're talking about currently. So, like, what's your opposition to having another financial vehicle for people?
Well, a 50-year mortgage is it's essentially just opening the door for banks to take advantage of people. It doesn't actually help. If the goal was to make home ownership more affordable, this isn't a solution that helps people.
How does that not help people that, first of all, don't have to take on a 50-year mortgage, but people that, for instance, are in a position where they assume they're going to be making X, orders of magnitude more in salary 10 years from now, and they just want to get the smallest down payment down and service that debt at the lowest monthly cost possible before their salary increases exponentially. So they're trying to leverage their financial position, and the 50-year mortgage clearly in that case is better for them. So why would you not want that to be an option?
Hey, Erica.
Okay, so what he's talking about is people basically, well, it still doesn't actually make any sense because why would an investor want to do a 50-year mortgage?
Because they can leverage that money that they're not having to pay on their principal and interest because it's a 50-year mortgage, and they can use that in other cases where they can earn a higher. Do you understand what leverage is? So
I do understand what leverage is. You don't have to be condescending.
No, I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm
You
just
are,
like,
but it's
you
okay.
know that leverage is using that equity that they would be paying if, for instance, they got a 30 or a 15-year mortgage. If they can use that equity in some other asset that returns a higher percentage than they're charged on that mortgage, then that is leverage, and they're making money in that situation. So the availability of the 50-year mortgage is a good thing. And again, people don't have to take on a 50-year mortgage. It's not an obligation. It's just a tool.
I disagree with you. Donald Trump, well, I'm not going to mention Trump, but with the 50-year mortgage, basically what ends
What do
up
you disagree
happening
with?
is I'm about to tell you if you allow me to
Okay.
finish,
All right.
because I know I was talking. Hey, let's not do this to each other right now, bro. So with the 50-year mortgage, what happens is people do end up paying more because they're going to be paying more towards interest. All right, just like they would on in a 30-year mortgage, you pay 15 years of interest, all right, and then you spend the other 15 paying towards your principal. That's if you go to full 30-year term. With a 50-year mortgage, you're going to spend about 30 years paying towards interest and 20 years paying towards the principal of it. So what that means for people is that they end up paying more out of pocket because they just spent 30 years paying towards interest on a home. So something that would have been paid off with a 30-year mortgage at 30 years, they still have 20 more years to pay towards the principal of it.
Yeah, the same would apply for a 30-year mortgage versus a 15. So, when we talk about debt or any sort of lending, there's going to be a higher interest rate for a longer period of debt because it's considered riskier, holding everything
That is
constant.
true.
So, yeah. So again, obviously they're going to be paying more cumulatively in interest over the 50-year period because it's a longer term loan. Again, it's just another financial tool that is at our disposal. So like if people, for instance, would want to be paying less to service debt for the next 5 years, for instance, because they assume that they're going to make, substantially more in a salary, or if we're just talking about an investor that wants to
So
service debt,
you're wanting
wants to,
people to predict
hold
the
on.
future.
Well, that's the whole idea of financial modeling. Yes. So that's how investment works. And you should also, take on that it's called time value of money. So it's the basics of finances, understanding that money is worth less now than in the future. And then you model out future cash flows. You try to predict obviously what you're going to make in the future.
So I
You
like to live in
plan based
reality,
on
so
that.
stuff that people actually can they can actually count on. So with that
This is
being
reality.
said, it's not reality. With that being
This is how
said, the quick
finance
question
works.
for you is this: is what's the average age of the American first-time home buyer?
How's this relevant to?
Answer the question, please.
I I don't know, but how's this
It's
relevant to what we're
40.
talking about?
It's 40 years old. What's 40 plus 50?
90. Again,
Okay.
how's
All
this
right. What's the
relevant to what we're
average
talking about?
age? What's the average age of
So
the
how
average
how's this
US
relevant?
American? What's the
How's
average
this?
age?
I don't
Please
really want
answer
to
the
do your.
question.
I don't care. I don't know.
You
Who
don't know?
cares?
I
Oh,
think
okay.
How is this relevant?
I think I can bridge
Okay.
the gap here when Erica's done,
Well,
because
can you just demonstrate how it's relevant to us talking
It's
about the financial
relevant
vehicle of a
because it
50-year
is
term
not
loan?
sustainable and it doesn't make sense. What it's going to do is the average age
It
of
doesn't prove
the first
relevancy.
time, excuse me, The average age of the first time home buyer is 40, and they get a 50-year mortgage. What ends up happening is if they wait that full 50 years to pay it off, then they'll be 90 by the time it's paid off. If they die before that, because the average American, well, I'll say the average white woman lives to be about 81 years old. Okay, for other people, it's actually less. For white men, it's less. For black women, black men, it's less, so on and so forth. Now, with that being said, when that loan isn't paid off, if their family isn't able to assume the debt, okay, and the way that things are going in this country, since we like to assume things, all right, the way things are going, they likely won't be able to assume the debt. So what ends up happening is all of those years that time paid into that property means nothing. Nothing. The state ends up taking their home from them. All right. So home ownership, all right, home ownership is one of the main ways to pass down generational wealth. All right. We're trying to promote 50-year mortgages to people, all right, who really, really do want to own homes, and telling them that it is a way to save money when on average they'll really only save about $135 to $250 a month on a $500,000 conventional loan. That's not worth it. All right, to
Again,
have
this
all
is
that time. So that's the relevancy. The relevancy is that your point is moot because you're only thinking about investors. No one gives a fuck about investors. All right, what we care about is the average American homeowner.
no. What everything you're saying is mute because again, people don't
It's
have to
moot,
take on no.
moot, not mute. Moot.
So people don't have to take on a 50-year loan. They don't have to do it. It's
Well,
just a tool at their disposal.
okay.
We get
Correct.
that
I'm
part.
going to bridge the gap real quick. I'm going to bridge the gap.
So that's just
Okay, so
irrelevant.
Erica is referring to the people that Trump is promoting this to, the people that he's campaigned to, right? The average American, and making
Exactly.
homes more affordable, right? And we Republicans shout on Kamala for wanting first-time home buyers to get a subsidy or a tax credit or whatever it was. But Trump is promoting something that would impoverish most Americans. This is something that would be a bad decision for a vast majority of Americans, and he's promoting it. The reason there's a disconnect here is because this guest is saying, yeah, but like if you're rich, you can use this is just another tool in your toolbox. Yes, I already started before Eric even came up. I said this benefits bankers. I'll add also rich people. Rich people can leverage this and get 50-year mortgages. So that they don't have to, they have a lower cash flow so that they can rent it out and then leverage their money because they're going to be making more than the 6.5% interest. I get that. That's not who he's promoting them to. So that's the disconnect here. Erica's talking about like most American people and the people that Trump claims to be fighting for, and you're fighting for the top 1%. So that's why there's an issue.
So he's not licensed to give financial advice. So when we say, I think we should loosely use the term promoting because he would be indicted, and you could argue maybe who would be indicting him is corrupt. That's a whole different sort of argument, but he's not. I don't think he's providing financial advice. I think, but it is true by saying that there's another vehicle, there's a longer term mortgage to acquire a home, because this could also, it's not just rich people that could leverage a 50-year mortgage. Like I said, it could be a poor person that realizes either he has a great business idea or just the nature of his job. He knows that 5 or 10 years from now, he's going to be making exponentially more money, and he's using this 50-year mortgage as a way to just get his foot in the door on a home, and then he's going to refinance down the road once he has a higher salary. So like it could be leveraged by a poor person as well. And I just don't think it's fair to say that Trump is somehow like maliciously promoting or in bad faith promoting a 50-year mortgage. Like, again, there's just nothing just to land my plane, there's nothing to complain about having another financial vehicle or tool at your disposal. It's similar to like an ETF. It'd be like complaining that, some company came out with a oil ETF where it'd be better to just buy straight oil futures. It'd be cheaper, but they're offering this easy vehicle that you're going to be paying a higher sort of management fee on, but you can invest in oil or short oil just by buying this ETF. Same concept. It's like nothing to maybe the only thing to complain about maybe would be that you feel that he's giving unjust financial advice, but it doesn't seem like that's the case because he would be indicted on criminal charges if that were the case.
Erica, go, because
God, Lee, Jesus Christ. He said he was gonna land his plane, but then he just kept talking.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
the ATF
What?
It's a long runway.
is still
It's a
short
long
staffed
runway.
because of the shutdown, so that's probably why the plane couldn't land. Go ahead, Erica, because
Yeah,
oh my god.
Jesus Christ, bro. Like, I have a question for you. I really do, and it's just I want to make sure that your logic is consistent on this. All right. So, what you think? I have a question. So, should pregnant women take Tylenol?
How
To
does
deal
this?
with pain? I just want to know,
So
yes or
did
no.
you
I'm just
tell
trying to make
us?
sure your logic is consistent,
We had
sir.
the same point. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is why we're besties. Okay. Like, my gosh. So I want to make sure that your logic is consistent. Should pregnant women take Tylenol to
I'm not
treat
a
pain?
doctor. I'm not a
No, but do
doctor.
you think that they should?
I have
So
no
like,
fucking idea. I'm
Do you,
not a doctor.
okay,
do you
so
think
like, do you
Trump is a
have a,
doctor?
yeah, do you think Trump is a doctor?
I don't think Trump's a doctor either.
Oh, okay. I just was wondering. I was just wondering because, hmm. Yeah, sure, buddy. Anywho, back to what it is that you said. Again, like Dan has said, I already said it. You're looking out for the investors because the only people who can benefit from this is people, of course, who can leverage the basically the equity in it. And it's not going to be the everyday American citizen because likely we just don't have that long, and also we don't have that money to be able to pay, down a 50-year mortgage in record time, like someone who, let's say makes a few $1 million a year. Now, with that being said, also the mortgage companies, so like Dan said again, the banks are going to be the ones to benefit because the longer the term and the riskier it is, the higher the interest rate, the more interest that the person does, of course, pay. So they make a lot of money, but the consumer themselves will be out of money. So there's no benefit actually of a 50-year loan. And trying to promote it as some new standard, or as you like to call it, a new financial vehicle, I think is pretty deceptive of not just you, but also of Trump, because it does not make the homes more affordable. It just simply doesn't. The home still costs $500,000 when we all know in reality that it should cost 250. So it is not making it
Yeah. So
less expensive
so
to
based on
own
your
a
logic,
home.
why is a 30-year mortgage good? Should we do away with that?
Third amortization.
No, I said
So yeah,
why is a 30-year mortgage okay, but a 50-year is not? Mathematically,
um,
what's the difference?
I would say
And why do you
mathematically
like
is that you're paying it off in a shorter time frame, and 30 is more feasible than 50. If that, again, I like to just do the numbers with you.
so would a
Right. The
31 year
average, I'm
would
so
31
sorry,
years be
please.
okay?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Thank you. Appreciate you. Gosh. All right. As I was saying earlier, the average age of the first time home buyer in the United States of America is 40 years old. All right. The average American, right, can live up to 81 years old. So there's more likely the chance that the person who gets a 30-year mortgage will be able to pay off their loan versus a person being a first-time home buyer at 40 being able to pay off the 50-year. Right? We can't do the hypotheticals of, well, what if they pay more towards the principal? No, we're talking simply about the length of the loan terms. That's it.
Wait,
So again,
wait, hold on.
go
No
ahead.
offense, but I don't. Okay, so two things. Again, people don't have to acquire a 30-year loan. They're not, or 50-year loan. They're not obligated to do so.
I
So I
understand
don't.
that.
Again, to say that it's bad to have the option of it is actually silly because
No one is saying
someone
that it's
who's
bad to have the option of it. We're saying, and Dan has already said it, what people are saying is, myself and Dan included, that it's bad for the president to promote this as it is a good thing
okay.
because it's not.
Okay, well, if that's your only we can find common ground there. I thought you were saying just financially speaking, like as it pertains to our country, it is
And
bad to
that.
have the option. Well
Oh, not
again,
I'm
and
how
the
could
saying
it?
that.
option.
I would say that.
I
Why
think
would
it's
it?
I do
I'll,
actually think that it's stupid to do a
I'll say
50-year
So
that.
wait,
mortgage.
then
Okay,
if
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
give you
make
an
wait,
example.
That's a long
before
time.
that, hold on, just so that
Such a
you're
long
gonna.
time.
But before he answers, I just want to make sure he answers sufficiently. What if you're going to claim that it is bad to have this as a financial vehicle? Then give me the cutoff. Like, is it 31 years, 32 years? What term loan as it pertains to mortgages is the cutoff?
Oh, well, I mean, I wouldn't have that answer because I'm not an expert on either life expectancy or amortization or any of that. I don't know what the cutoff would be. I know you're going to try to get me into the what is it, Loki's wager with the you don't know that where to actually do the cutoff for the head or the neck or whatever. But the reason that having this option is bad is there's a few ways to look at it. I'm gonna give you an example first. Are you familiar with the family that was found guilty of promoting the opioid crisis?
No, a doctor or a family?
I can't
Is
remember.
it Skakel? Is it Skakel?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So having the option, right, to have these painkillers, the Sacklers. Thank you, Malik. Having the option to have these painkillers.
I had my A and the K mixed up.
Having the option to have these painkillers is inherently not a bad thing. There are people who have problems with pain management, and these pills can be used effectively. However, when you have people in positions of power promoting them for people that shouldn't get them or use them, you can lead to a lot of undue harm. To the point where they were found criminally liable for this, right? So if you have the president of the United States peddling something that would be bad for 95% of this country, probably more, I would say that's a bad thing. I would say we probably shouldn't even have that option. Thank you, AC. Given this is how it's going to be promoted. It's not like it's just going to be an additional option that comes to the banks. No, we have the president and his Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, saying that this would get more people into homes and promoting it as if this is something that will lead to more home ownership. It's not. I mean, like you said, it could be an investment vehicle. It could be another option for people who are already rich, but for actual humans that live until about the age of 75 or 78, where the average expectancy is. This is like a bad idea, and for the president to be promoting it is a bad thing. Now, you even pointed out you didn't pick up what Erica was putting down because you probably just don't know a lot about what the president's been doing, but you said that he can't be giving financial advice by promoting this because then he would be sued or arrested or whatever. There's like so many things wrong with that. He was literally giving medical advice just last month regarding Tylenol and pregnancy. He's giving medical advice, and whether or not he can be sued or punished is irrelevant because the Supreme Court ruled that a sitting president cannot, first of all, can't be charged with a crime if it's in any relation to his job, and the Department of Justice, which also, by the way, is right now Trump ran because Bondi is a sycophant. But even if it was an opposite of Department of Justice, there is a longstanding rule where the DOJ does not indict a sitting president. So what you just said, it's false. That was a bad talking point because it's not true. It's not based in reality. So
can I respond to those 2 points real quick?
Yes.
Yeah. So providing medical advice versus financial advice, completely different, legally speaking. It also does not, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not the president's job to provide medical advice. So he could be charged for that. Absolutely. He doesn't have immunity for that whatsoever. That definitely doesn't fall.
He hasn't been charged yet though, right?
Correct. So he must not have been providing medical advice. Correct.
Was that the reality you want to live in?
Well, is the legislative branch corrupt? Because they can indict him on charges, correct? Wouldn't they indict him on charges, or at least draw up charges?
Or like impeachment?
He's committing a crime? Yeah. Wouldn't they do that if he's committing a crime?
Okay, so if your question is the Republican Party corrupt to the point where... you asked me a question. You said, is the legislative branch corrupt?
Sorry,
I'm answering it.
But let me just finish.
Don't ask me questions and then not let me answer. That's not fair.
That's fair. Let me just forget, because the first point you brought up about the mortgage. So once again, this actually absolutely benefits even lower class income earners. So for instance, if you're making $20,000 right now, but you believe that in the next 5 years you're going to make $100,000 because you're going to work your ass off, whatever you're like getting a degree in.
Serious?
Let me just finish. you would, if you first acquire a 50-year mortgage when you're making $20,000, and you believe that you're going to make this exponentially higher salary in the next 5 years, you'd be paying less out of pocket for the first 5 years. Then you could refinance down to even a 15-year mortgage, something that's more realistic, and be charged a significantly lower interest rate, not only because of the term of the mortgage, but also because of your income status at the time, or at the current standing versus what you were making when you were making only $20,000. So this 50-year mortgage absolutely can be utilized very beneficially for people that are even
gamblers.
poor.
Yeah. So if you're poor,
How is that? If you're saying that that's gambling to
that is
financially,
yes. I make $20,000 a year, but I think I'm going to make $100,000 a year. And this is a good decision. That's 100% gambling.
If you're, for instance,
That's
if you're in med
gambling.
school, wait, hold on. How is that gambling if you're in med school?
Oh, okay. So you're saying
are
someone
you
who's in med
guaranteed
school
to finish med school?
Again, hold on. No offense, but you guys, like, I'm not you guys personally, but if people are thinking this way, if you think that it's gambling to project out your future cash flows,
Oh my God.
this is what every intelligent person in the world is doing. So it's absolutely not gambling, and you're going to be left in the dust.
I want some stats on that one. I want
You're
some
going to be left
stats on
in the
that.
dust, economically speaking, if you're not trying to financially plan out your future.
Okay.
I
All
want
right.
some
Listen,
stats
you want
on that one, Dan.
you if you want to speak as if you you know what you're talking about, then
this is finance. You learn this in Finance 101.
Let's talk finance.
Yeah, time value of money.
Yeah. Okay.
It's hilarious.
When you get a 50-year mortgage, it is a gamble, and you're making $20K. Even if you're in middle school, I'm going to walk you through this. It is a gamble that the price of homes is going to continue to rise by the time you get out of medical school. Do you agree with that, or do I have to walk you through why?
Well, it would be a speculative / investment claim. If you want to say it's gambling, that would be silly because we can track historical home prices. We can also see that population is growing and real estate is finite. So the assumption would be homes would continue to go up in price as supply stays stagnant, demand increases.
It's not first of all, not infinitely.
That's not gambling.
Not
That's
infinite.
called-
No, you're gambling.
that's
No.
called investing.
Hey, you're gambling. I asked you if you disagreed. I would walk you through it.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I disagree. It's not gambling.
Okay, you disagree. Stop, so I can walk you through. I don't want to waste my time with your lack of understanding. You're gambling that the price of the home that you're purchasing will continue to go up in the period where you're in med school. In your fictitious example, right? We'll use the example because this is probably something that happens. You have somebody who's making $20,000 a year, but they're in med school. If they choose to get a 50-year mortgage because they know they're going to become a doctor, which, by the way, you're still a little bit gambling that you are going to finish med school, but let's say they're very confident, and you know what? This is America, okay? They're still gambling on the fact that when they're done with med school, which is 4 years away from where they are, right? That the housing market has continued to go up steadily during that 4 years. If it goes up after 10 years, they've already lost the gamble because they could have rented for 4 years and saved all that money on interest.
But that's not true. So why does the home have to appreciate in price? Why does it necessitate refinancing?
Great question. Because if you have a 50-year mortgage, I don't know if you've looked at any of the amortization charts that have come out for 50-year mortgage.
I understand amortization in this case.
Okay, so you
doesn't
pay almost
require the
nothing
home
to your
appreciating
principal.
value.
You pay almost nothing to your principal, right? So all of those payments that you made in interest, you could have paid less, right? By not purchasing that home. That makes sense?
Correct, but the assumption is you now make 5 times the amount. So the interest proportionally when you refinance, even on that 15-year mortgage, is significantly less than you would have been paying at the same when you're making $20,000 a year. So the underwriting process, the reason you refinance is because now you're earning a higher salary, so you're less of a risk to the lender, so they can offer you a substantially less interest rate. So again, you're leveraging your position, you're getting into a home and paying less out of pocket when you make less money at the present moment, with the assumption that because of what you're studying or your ideas or so on and so forth, that your future cash flows are significantly higher. So again, this is called financial leverage.
Okay, stop right there because
I have to teach a finance class tonight.
I just want you to land the plane so we don't have to keep going on. Look at God. Okay, so with that being said, you mentioned something earlier about equity, or did I hear you wrong? Just yes or no? Did you mention something about they could use the equity in the home?
We're talking about principal.
They'll be able to leverage it, right? Okay, all right. Because with a 50-year mortgage, wouldn't you definitely be taking longer to pay towards the actual principal on the
Yeah,
property?
that's the point. And you
Okay,
can
all right.
use
So
that equity other
hold on. No,
places.
no, 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 no. Because on a 50-year mortgage, all right, at about 20 years of paying towards this loan, all right, you're only going to be paying about 11% of the principal. All right. That's a small
20.
amount. That doesn't, yeah, 20 years, and you'll have about 11% of your principal paid down. Right. This
Yeah,
is
the
why
point
this
is
is a
you'd
bad idea. Hold
refinance.
on, time out, time out, time out. All right. To refi, you have to have some good equity in your home. And
No,
but
you
like
don't.
Oh yeah,
compared to a
that's a
third,
good point. You're not gonna be able to refinance if you're upside down on the value. If the value of your
exactly,
home
you have
Huh?
went
to have
down
equity. What are
because
you talking about?
First of all, in what case does
How are
wait?
you
In
gonna
what
tell me
case
that you don't
do we
have to
see?
have equity
Hold
in
on,
your
hold on,
home in order to
hold on.
refi? That is
No, you
literally
don't.
why
You
in
what?
2021 we had so many people refining, not because rates were low, they were low. That was a reason. However, it was definitely because of the new equity that people had in their properties due to the investment companies and the private equity firms buying up homes with cash, inflating the market value of the homes. That's why we had so many people purchasing homes. All right. You may have taken a financial class, and I'm proud of you for that. Like, congratulations. Like, I'm glad you did that. All right. But I worked for 2 years as a mortgage closer, writing up loan documents, talking to loan officers. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I want you to know
you
that
did
part.
underwriting.
So anywho, with that, I work very, very closely with the underwriters. All right, shout out to Rocket Mortgage. Now, with that being said, compared to a 30-year mortgage, you actually would have paid down a little over 45% towards the principal in that same 20-year period. All right, the equity growth in this is going to be slow, and there is no guarantee because you assume way too much. You assume all these positives, yet you're negating any of the negatives. All right. There is no guarantee that the home itself will actually depreciate. So there's that. You have to think about that too. And also, this whole like assuming that you're going to be making more money in 5 years, that's a friggin' pipe dream. Okay. You don't know what's going to happen. Okay. Do you believe in God? Scoto, man? Do you believe in God?
The reason you would take on the
I have a
mortgage.
question. I have a question. Do you believe in
Okay.
God? Yes or no?
I mean, I'm non-dualistic, so I'm a Buddhist.
Non-dualistic. Okay, you're a
Meaning you
Buddhist.
believe
Okay,
you are
there you
God.
go. Okay,
Everything's God.
cool. Okay, cool. Well, I'm telling you, as a God, all right, when you make plans, I laugh. That's all I got. Like, this is insane. This doesn't make any sense. You got it, Dan.
But
thank you.
yeah, so no, you don't just have to refinance because you wouldn't necessarily just refinance because your property values exponentially increased. You would also refinance if the property value stayed the same, but your salary exponentially increased because you could receive a substantially lower interest rate from another lender or even the
What
same
happens if the
lender.
property value decreases?
Again, you're stipulating circumstances that are bad, but we're talking about people that are trying to financially plan and projecting out things. So you're right, that's a possibility.
That's
But
why
what's
it's
the like?
gambling.
Hey, Dan, can you
So
ask him
that
a question?
gambling implies speculation. So
Yes,
when we
you're
look at this,
speculating on the housing market. I
right?
don't.
So
You don't
when we
understand how little value there is in getting a 50-year mortgage now
wait,
because
wait,
you're going to make money in 4 years.
so wait, hold
Dan, can
on.
you ask
Do
him
you
a
think
question for me, please?
do you think it's a better assumption that housing prices will increase?
Hold on, I can't listen to that for 1 second. Just Erica wants to ask a question. Just I will unmute you in 1 second. Go ahead, Erica.
I apologize for being petty, but Dan, will you please ask him this question for me? What happens when you roll negative equity into a new loan? So when you refi, when you're upside down, what happens when you roll that negative equity? All
Well, you
right,
wouldn't
because
refi. You wouldn't refi at that point.
you just said that we would, though. You just said that we would.
I
You
never
just
said
said
that.
that
If the
you did.
house
You
went
just
down in
said
price,
that
what are you
we
talking
would.
about? No, I
You just
didn't.
said that we, if you were upside down in your loan, you
No,
said
I
that you
didn't.
could refi if you're making more money. You just said that. You
Well,
did. You
sure.
just said that.
I said if the house stays at equal value and you make more money, you'd want to refi. Obviously, you'd receive a lower interest rate.
What
Yeah,
do you
clearly
have
you've
to
never done
suggest that you
underwriting.
would? What would you
What?
suggest that? Where do you get that from?
because you're less of a. Hold on. Do you understand the interest rate given
I
to you
understand.
is
I get it.
so
Again,
if you're
you don't have to
making
be
if you're
condescending. You keep
okay,
being
well then why are
condescending.
you
I'm gonna
asking
teach
a
you what I'm gonna
question
teach
you
you
know the
what
answer to?
yapping from outside of the club means. I want you to calm down now.
Okay, but you know the answer to your question then. If you're making more
What
money, you pose less of a
happens?
risk to the lender, correct?
You just said that a person can refi on an upside down loan. Since
No,
you
I
don't want to
didn't.
answer the question,
I
since you
never
don't want
said
to
that.
answer the question, I'll answer it for you. All right. It leads to a longer learn. I'm sorry. Oh, that was a tongue twister. A longer long term. It's a two L's back to back. Also, it can lead to a higher monthly payment. And worst case scenario for you, it can lead to a higher interest rate. So there's that. So what is it like?
That's why you wouldn't refi.
You sell us this 50-year mortgage. Dan, he's gonna sell you a 50-year mortgage on a new home, and go.
He is.
Him. He's gonna sell it to you. Watch. By the end of his
I'm actually gonna
presentation,
offer a 60-year loan to
on,
him.
on his presentation after he finish it, boy, are you gonna want to sign up for a 50-year mortgage. You know what? You'll make it to about 76, Dan, and I hope you live past 76. So, I don't want you. I
Wait,
don't
wait,
want you.
hold
I
on.
want you to
Even the
enjoy your home. Okay.
you do realize you still take on debt, not dictating when you die. Like people, everyone, the rich, the poor, everyone has debt when they're dying. Obviously, like that's part of your balance sheet. Like you're gonna have liabilities and equity that fund your assets. So like to say that a 50-year loan or mortgage is bad because most people aren't going to live long enough to service this 50-year loan is
Okay. I'm
just
just gonna
silly.
get a 100-year mortgage then.
Well,
Well,
And
no,
he's fine
because
with that.
I'm
again,
gonna say like $1,000 a month.
well, who's
Debt.
again? I mean, the bigger
Like
point here is like,
I'm gonna be renting from the bank.
who are you to like dictate what a lender and consumer does? Like,
Who is Donald
I'm
Trump to dictate? What are you
I'm
dictate
doing?
that
I'm
other than
going
the
to I
usury
have to
argument?
jump in. I have to jump in. I'm sorry. That's a straw man. That's a straw man. The argument here, the argument here is that the president of the United States is promoting this as an avenue to get more Americans into homes. That's a
Okay,
problem.
yeah, I'm not an advocate of the president providing financial advice. We can
But
find
you are
common
an
ground.
advocate of the 50-year mortgage for the average American. Yes or no?
If it's good for them, like again, I wouldn't recommend it to just everyone blanketly. Most likely, it's better if you take on less of them. I mean, again, it totally
How many
depends on like
just
your financial
ballpark,
strategy, but
ballpark. Obviously, this is not an answerable question at the moment. What percentage of Americans do you think it would be a good idea for them to take out a 50-year mortgage?
basically, no, I mean,
None,
minute.
right? Basically none.
No, yeah, I mean, most people are idiots, so like it would be bad. It would be
It would be
putting
bad.
them
You
in
just said, okay,
usury.
it would be bad. So why are you up
Yeah,
here? You're just up here to argue? What's the point of the argument here? You just
because initially I thought you guys were saying it was just bad to have as a financial tool, and clearly it's not. I
you just
mean,
said it would be
that's
bad. Most people.
no. I'm saying it would be bad for most people. Same reason that it's bad for them to buy something on off eBay with a loan, with the whatever what are the lending
Well,
services
yes,
that you
there are.
can pay in
So there are
installments?
predatory. Do you agree that there are predatory lending services?
Yeah, so I don't agree that it's. I think people we have. I think it's silly to call it predatory. I mean, we have stupid people, and um, you know, maybe we should have limits on
Okay,
use. What you're talking about is usury,
I'm going to stop you for
right?
1 second.
We're talking
It's
about usury.
This isn't just a matter of stupid people. Okay,
Well, it is.
you just said most people but would not benefit from this. So maybe we shouldn't have the president of the United States promoting it.
Are you people looking much? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I need to mute.
I think it should be a thing. I think that he should
For who?
help
Why?
work with banks to develop this.
Why?
Because, like I pointed out, there are people that are poor that can benefit it
No,
from it.
no, 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 no. That's you're wrong.
Just
You're
like they
wrong.
can benefit
Okay,
from
so what you just said is there are
just
people that
like
are poor that can
they
benefit from lottery
can I
tickets.
finish? No, completely different. No,
How's it different?
absolutely different. Because lottery tickets are
They could win.
statistically gambling, you would only take on a 50-year mortgage if you believed in your financial model that there's alpha to it. So alpha would be, in this case, the odds of your historical data of wherever your salary is going or whatever your situation is that this 50-year mortgage will be leveraged, meaning the cost of debt that you're taking on will be outpaced by the cost of equity.
I understand.
So but hold on. Same applies to even what I was talking about with the getting something off eBay or Walmart, these installment payments. Like 99% of people, we could just call it, if you want to call it predatory, sure. Stupid people that are like, oh, this is a great idea, I can pay later and I'll just incur this debt now.
If Donald Trump was promoting a firm right now, I would be talking about it as well. However,
I don't know what you mean by that.
I'm sorry?
I don't know what you mean by if he's promoting a firm. I'm just saying it is absolutely nonsensical to say that if lenders want to provide a 50-year mortgage, it is silly to say that they shouldn't.
And if doctors want to provide an opioid to people who don't need it, that leads to the death of hundreds of thousands of Americans that didn't need to die, then that's okay with you.
It's completely different logic.
Why is it different?
You're saying something.
They trusted the experts who they thought were experts that were pushing this drug. Same in this case. They trusted the
Donald
president
Trump's
who
not the
says,
expert.
his Treasury Secretary should be.
No.
We
Experts would be
the expert. We know
experts
that,
would be people that are licensed in giving financial advice.
Oh, okay. All right. So thank you. All right. So the chief economist for Moody's, said that there would be a.
He's not licensed to provide financial advice.
Okay, so no one's licensed.
He's an economist. No, he's an economist. That's not having a license to provide financial advice.
Hey, chat, who has a Series 7? You muted yourself, Dan. Who has a Series 7? Request up. There you go, Dan. You're back.
Also, I don't even think a Series 7 gives you a license to provide personal. It might, but I don't think it does. I think there's a difference license. No, I don't have a Series 7. I don't have any financial license. Well, I work in finance. I make a great living off working in finance. I just don't provide.
And back you go.
Doesn't mean I need a license to do what I'm doing. I own a business. You can look it up. Wave Ventures.
Yeah, they said that you're on the
Ultimately
web.
an asset management firm, but we work in liquid markets primarily.
You can't hear me.
Correct.
The webcam.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good now.
Okay. An asset management firm.
Yeah, my revenue primarily comes from proprietary trading, but I own real estate as well. So that's looped into the same LLC.
Okay. So, the assets that you're trading here, you said proprietary trading, but would you say you're a day trader?
No.
Okay. All right. So, would you ever give? Well, I guess you're not licensed to give financial advice. The assets that you manage, would you ever you would put them into a 50-year mortgage? Would there be a situation that would make sense for you?
No, not as of now. Again, the liquid market component, which is where I'm making basically all of my current revenue, is just in derivative markets, so it has nothing to do with real estate.
Okay.
So I mean, I
So
wouldn't.
you're saying, okay,
I wouldn't right now
because what you said
utilize a
was
50-year mortgage.
you were willing to speak about the positives of a 50-year mortgage because you make a living in finance. But now you're saying that your living has nothing to do with that, right?
Well, hold on. I can still say that 50-year mortgages are good tools to have at your disposal, but also say that currently what I'm doing in finance doesn't apply to having a 50-year mortgage. But there's absolutely reason in the future that, sure, maybe I could see a scenario where I would acquire a 50-year mortgage.
Go ahead, Erica.
I don't know how I don't know how
First,
you guys are arguing against. It's
he just
like
said, go ahead, Erica,
nonsensical.
though. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Thank you, Phil, so much for the $2. Phil said in the past 12 months, 66% of people making under 30K a year receive no increase in pay. This guy has an unrealistic understanding of poverty wealth increase. He is talking from a financial intelligence lens for someone with upward mobility, not most Americans. Exactly. He's not talking about the average American like Dan and I are talking about. Drop some hearts in the chat for Phil. I wanted to ask you a question, sir. The question would be is because you keep speaking about financial modeling. All right, so you spoke about that. I wanted to ask you, like, what's the success rate on that? Do you know?
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear your question. Success rate on what?
On financial modeling, like for businesses, what's the success rate?
That's literally every business is financially modeled. What are you talking about?
So, like on average, how many like businesses fail? Like how many businesses are started in a year? How many fail within that year or within the
I
first
mean,
5 years? Like, what does it look like? Like, put some numbers towards us to tell us like the success rate of financial modeling. Because if we can't go over that, then I have a few other questions for you. Then
a business is literally just a financial model. That's what a business.
it's
That's
a
how
risk,
you
isn't it?
raise money. Yes, business is
Oh, okay.
risky.
Okay, it's kind of like
What is your
gambling, would you
point?
say? It's kind of like
Well,
gambling, making a bunch of assumptions,
typically
hoping that it does
gambling
work out.
typically gambling implies that you have an assumed risk of about 51%. So no.
What would be my assumed risk in doing the
It
financial
depends on
modeling?
your business. Like what?
Okay, so like as a person that is doing some financial modeling, because I'm in medical school, right? And I
Mhm.
think that, in 5 years, once I'm finished with medical school, I'm doing my residency and so on and so forth, right? That I'll be making all of this money, right? That then I'll be able to refinance my home, right? I'll be able to do that. But I can't account for any type of, let's say, natural events happen. I can't account for a car accident. I can't account for a life-changing event. I can't account for, let's say, if I end up with child. I can't account for that because things do happen, right? I can't account for it the fact if I have to move or anything of that nature. So I will be taking a risk, all right, colloquially using the term gambling as a person making $20,000 a year, that I'll some way, somehow in 5 years be making more money than I am now by taking on this 50-year mortgage. Is that not the risk?
No. So
Okay, here we go.
these unforeseen events that you're talking about, like
Hmm.
yes, that is a component to risk in your financial model. You develop an expected value or a present. It depends on what we're exactly trying to model here, but you have an expected value that is a combination of risk and potential cash flows. So that whatever you're trying to
So
model out should include this unforeseen risk. And yeah, like if for
you
some
can't
reason,
foresee
but
unforeseen
hold on, let me
risk,
just
sir.
finish.
That's not a thing.
What?
You can't
You
you
can you
can't
can assign a
unforeseen.
probability to
No, you
unforeseen risk. Yes, you can. So, but hold on, just to finish what I was saying. Yeah, if like for some reason you think that it's kind of there's only like what we'll just say call it 60% chance that you're going to wind up making this amount of money versus this amount of money, that lowers your
oh
expected
my
value.
God.
So you're going to like you seeking this 50-year mortgage to like leverage whatever position you're in with only the assumption that there's like a 60% chance that this is going to work out, well, yeah, at that point, it's just stupid and you probably shouldn't do that. But what I'm talking about is a scenario where people are highly confident in what they're doing, or they're just trying, like, by the way, people do this all the time. They take on a lot of risk in hopes, in hopes of some dream. But it just doesn't work out. And you're right, then they default on that loan and they're in a crappy situation, which happens to investors like even rich people. They lose money because they're they're taking on way too much risk. So like, yes, there's plenty of scenarios where someone acquiring a 50-year mortgage is bad.
The plane, bro. Come on.
Like, dude, your answers are like so long. Like, you don't have to do this to us. Basically, the whole thing is that the majority of people who do financial modeling, they use Excel, Dan. And in using Excel, all right, there are flaws to this financial modeling. All right, it actually has a fail rate of about 88%. Okay, because it has flaws, because humans are flawed. So there is nothing that is guaranteed. This guy sounds like Trump trying to actually sell you a guarantee that does not exist. This is, in fact, gambling. You're gambling. That's all that you're doing. When you're doing a financial modeling, you are gambling that the calculations, the assumptions that you have made, the probabilities that you have made will work out in your favor. All right, you're asking the average American who is living paycheck to paycheck, all right, to financial model the next 5 years so that they some way, somehow can make some type of profit or be able to refinance this 50-year mortgage. Sir, I want you to be a lot of things, all right, that you clearly aren't. But the main thing I want you to be is fucking for real. And I say that kindly. Seriously, I do. With love.
Erica,
What are we
everything
doing?
you interact with in your life, like your employer, every business, our government, it's all a product of financial modeling. I don't know what you're.
And it
like, what are you
doesn't
talking about?
always work.
Okay.
True.
You know what?
Like,
What's your
Jesus
point?
freaking
I'm actually gonna
telling you something's a guarantee.
I will walk down the model with you, and I'm going to give you all of the hypotheticals you want. Do financial modeling for a person, right? We're gonna take the original example you had. They make $20K, but they're in med school. Okay, explain to me the odds that a 50-year mortgage is a better choice financially than renting, because I'm going to walk you through every single factor that would need to go into it, because you're talking about someone that is confident in their future. Okay, so obviously there's risk involved with whether you're going to finish med school. Obviously there's risk involving emergencies and stuff like that, which Erica already mentioned, but you said, oh, well, that's unforeseen risk, blah, 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 blah. I'm also going to walk you through the financial risk. If all of that stuff, we know you're going to finish med school with certainty. Let's say we know that, you're still needing to do better than just renting, because you have to worry about the price of real estate either stagnating or dropping, because otherwise you could have leveraged your money by just renting. You also have to worry about locking yourself into a home when you could have just rented, right? Because there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to practice your profession after med school in the same place you are, and you chose to lock yourself in a 50-year mortgage so that you could save $100 a month or whatever. Like, just give me a way. Give me an example of a person in that spot that is going to leverage their money better than if they just rented and then bought.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So everything those are variables within a model. And again, I think just for the audience, maybe you guys do know what a financial model is, but really it's just projecting out cash flows.
Please, discounting the back. I'm gonna time you. Actually, I can't. My brain can't take it. Just answer my question.
Yeah. So someone in med school, say they can only afford $100 a month payment on a house. They see this property. They're like, wow, this is going to exponentially grow in value. I've got to start owning this and at least have ownership of this property, because I know that it's the best investment possible. I'm only making $20,000 a year, but I'm in med school. I know I'm going to make, say $300,000 or $200,000 a year 10 years from now, or 5 years, whatever the case may be. But again, you can only service debt at like $100 a month. Clearly, the 50-year mortgage is going to be a lower, payment each month. So you're going to obviously, jumping into this property, the appreciation is going to exponentially outweigh even
How do you know
paying,
that? Wait, stop. How do you know that?
you don't. That would be your speculation. That's why you want to invest.
Okay, so
you want the ability. Hold on.
No. I just really quick because you're gonna explain stuff and it's not gonna matter based on this question. This specific property is going to, in your opinion, this person, this med student,
he wants to buy this property because he thinks this.
The specific property, not just property in general. That specific property.
Specific property. And so if there wasn't the existence of a 50-year mortgage, if no one would lend at a 50-year term limit or term, then he wouldn't be able to acquire this property. But because this is available to him, now he can get into this property earlier, or someone would probably presumably have bought it if he couldn't get into it.
Why does this specific property in the med students?
Hold on, let me just finish. This is the only way he can get into it at such a low cost.
I can't grant you. You're too long. My life is too short for this. Like I'm 35. I already have gray hairs. I can't. So I have to start interrupting because you're just taking too long. You're taking too long to get to your point. Why this specific property in the med students?
Relatively complex finance, I guess, to you guys, but
in the med students' eye, no. Oh, the complex finance. If somebody really believes that a house is going to go up, why in this med student's eyes is that specific property going to go up versus all property?
Maybe location. I don't know. Again, we're talking about a hypothetical. Any real estate investor could have a number of reasons why they are investing in a particular property. Like what? The location. Just say the location's unbelievable, and he has some connection that this person's like, you know what? I like you. I'm going to sell this to you, but again, I'm not going to drop from the market value. And again, the only way for him to service a mortgage would be getting this 50-year mortgage. But again, he knows 5 or 10 years from now, he can refinance back to a 15-year mortgage.
He hopes. Hold on. You already said he cannot refinance if he's upside down.
Yeah.
He hopes.
He hopes for sure. Yeah.
Thank you, Beach.
And so this is he should have the ability to have an invest, which by definition, speculation implies a less or more risky investment or asset.
Thank you so much, Vons, for the star map.
But again, he should have the ability to invest in this property, and if a lender,
all right, thank you. That's enough. We got it. We got the point. It's not complex. So you are describing a scenario. Okay, I want to hear where you put this percentage at. Thank you, Onsav. You are describing a scenario where you have a person who's in med school. They're in a specific hypothetical where they know they're going to graduate and no emergencies are going to happen to them. I'm granting you that for the sake of moving past the unforeseen risk that isn't just financial, that's outside of financial. You have a med student that finds a property and the property's location and price is amazing. They make nice with the person selling. The person selling likes them. They like the cut of their jib. But the only way that this med student is going to be able to secure this property is with specifically a 50-year mortgage, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to own the property. And also, the odds of this property rising exponentially are higher than the odds that any of that other stuff would happen, higher than the odds that the real estate market in general would stagnate. All of that. And also higher than the odds that the down payment that you're going to put in, or anything that might happen to the house, repairs, whatever, all of that would be saved by renting. All of those factors, you are so sure this med student that has guaranteed job where they're going to be graduating and guaranteed to graduate with no emergencies. This med student knows that the price of is sure enough that the price of the house is going to go up beyond what other real estate goes up, let alone if it stagnates, and outweigh the benefits or the potential opportunity cost of your down payment and your losses to repairs. What percentage of people are in that boat?
The same would apply to a 30-year mortgage. Everything you just named.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't, because a 30-year mortgage does not. How would it not? I will explain how. The odds of a lot of those things in regards to the property going down or in regards to being able to refinance are lower when you have a 30-year mortgage, because you're paying more into your principal versus in a 50-year mortgage where, like Erica explained,
necessarily pay more into your principal. What are you talking about? No, you don't.
If you have a 30-year mortgage versus
I
a
just
50-year
went over it
mortgage,
with you earlier.
What if you had a 30-year mortgage, 10% down versus a 50-year mortgage that's 5% down? That'd be less principal, correct?
What did he just say?
Jesus Christ. I'm
Wait,
tired
That
of
didn't make any
getting on fight.
sense.
no,
You
hold
can
on, hold
put
on.
How would you do a
you could
5%
have a
down on a
50-year mortgage
50-year
and put
mortgage
less
and do
down in
5?
principal. Yes.
You would
What?
put less down as a down payment. So what the fuck was your question? Your question, I think you said it backwards. Say it again.
He's somehow saying that by getting a 30-year mortgage, that necessitates you putting more down in principal. It's just not true.
He didn't just say
I didn't say
that.
more down.
He
I said
didn't say more down. He
You're
said
paying
you're
more to
paying
principal. That's just
down your
not true.
principal faster, is
Well,
what he
yeah, because it's a
said.
30-year
Because
mortgage.
no. But that's the fucking
That's
point.
what you asked.
Because the
You
more
asked
you
an
pay
absurd
down your
question.
principal, the faster you get equity in your home. Okay,
Wait,
what
but
are
hold
we
on.
doing? I don't
There's
understand. Why are we doing this?
there's a
What are we
scenario where
doing?
you can
Are
have a
you just
30-year.
contrarian? Are you just contrarian?
No.
Like
You
this
can
is your personality.
no
I want
offense,
you
but
to I want you to be better.
I don't think you're tracking. So a 30-year
We are
mortgage,
tracking. You're not tracking.
the first 5 years of
All
a
right. The
30-year
first person to
mortgage.
say that someone isn't tracking is the one that's not tracking.
So
Okay. You're not tracking,
let
darling.
me finish.
All right. Because no, I'm not going to let you finish because your condescension is like out of this fucking world. Okay. It's ridiculous at this point. Like, chill out. It doesn't make any sense. You know how to have a conversation. Have the conversation. Stop being a condescending person. There's no need for that.
You could structure a
Okay.
30-year mortgage and pay
Jesus fucking
less down in
Christ.
principal in the first 5 years than you would a
No one
50-year
said
mortgage.
anything about a down payment or anything of that nature. No one said anything of that nature. And a standard
About
conventional loan,
principal.
excuse me, and a standard, because you keep adding in all of these caveats. All right, when we have a standard conventional, it's called a conventional loan, okay? Versus a 50-year versus a 30-year. You, of course, will pay down the principal on the 30-year faster, which gives you access to your equity. Do you know what people do with their equity, Scoto? What do they do with their equity? Give us 3 things
They
that
don't.
people do with their
Equity just
equity.
means the equity is
What
just
do
the
people what
nominal
do
value
people
of ownership.
do?
What are you talking
What do
about?
people do with
They
the
don't. They
equity
don't do
in their
anything with it.
home?
They
They
don't have
get
to
a
do anything with
HELOC.
it.
They get HELOCs.
They don't have
That's
to.
one thing that they do. They also use those HELOCs or they'll refi in order to pay for their children's education, or they'll use the money to refi, not refi, but they'll use the money to renovate their homes. Okay. So
This is just so
I would
irrelevant.
rather have a 30-year mortgage where after 20 years, I have almost 50% of my principal paid down, which means I have more equity to use for one of the 3 things that I just mentioned versus a 50-year mortgage where I only have about 11% at 20 years.
Well,
That is ridiculous.
the good news is you don't have to get a 50-year
We know you don't
mortgage.
have to get it, but you're sitting up here promoting it like it's a good thing. And everything that you said is good about a 50-year mortgage actually is not good.
Also, just
It's
really quick,
bad,
Scott.
and we proved it.
Really quick, Scott. Everything Erica just said was in relation to your absurd question, which is, or your absurd statement, which is that all of the bad things that we're talking about in regards to a 50-year mortgage would apply to a 30-year, and that's not entirely true. So that was explained by Erica here, and now what you're doing is you're Montbaileying, right? Your argument was, oh, a 30-year mortgage and a 50-year mortgage are comparably bad, and now once it's pushed back on, oh well, you don't have to get a 50-year mortgage. That wasn't what the argument was, right? So you concede a 50-year mortgage is way worse than a 30-year mortgage for most Americans.
Again, it's just a silly statement. Like
Can you say it then?
good or bad.
Can you just concede then if it's so silly?
No, because they're not good or bad. They're only good and bad in the context of someone's own personal financial model.
And there aren't people that exist, except for real estate investors, right, who would potentially be renting them out. There aren't the average American. The scenario that you provided does not exist. There isn't an American who would benefit.
Yes, anyone who believes that they're financially going to be in a way better scenario 5 or 10 years from now
would be better off renting and then buying a house in 5 or 10 years.
Not necessarily. Not if they again, you don't know where housing prices are going to go, and just because you don't want to speculate on it, Other people do because they want to possibly become rich. This is how, the whole concept of a Sharpe ratio. I mean,
do you think the president of the United States should promote gambling?
Do you understand what a Sharpe ratio is?
I'm not familiar with that term.
So it's just risk to reward in finance. It's how you measure an investment.
Oh, okay.
So
okay, yeah.
So,
no, that's great. Oh, thank you. I appreciate. I didn't know that term. The risk to reward for a 50-year mortgage is very, very bad. The ratio is very, very bad. It's a very high risk for very small reward.
Again, no, it's only good or bad relative to the financial model itself. So it could have a much higher risk to reward in some scenarios versus others. So it's impossible to say.
The word "some" here is doing a lot of heavy lifting, a huge amount of heavy lifting. Some scenarios, yes, scenarios where you are a real estate investor and you're just buying the home to rent it out, and then the renters are paying your mortgage, and their cash flow is lower. So a 50-year mortgage is better, or the cash flow is higher for you.
It's exactly the same thing as saying like a spoon is better than a fork.
But for eating soup.
No, no, as a blanket statement. That's the point. You're not specifying what
I will rephrase my statement. And you have to agree with this. For 99% of Americans, a 30-year mortgage is a better option than a 50-year mortgage. Do you agree?
You already asked me that question and I answered.
What was your answer?
I said, yeah.
Okay, so the president shouldn't be promoting things that are bad for 99% of Americans. Do you agree with that?
He shouldn't be promoting mortgages in the first place.
Okay, great.
We already agreed.
Banks. Okay, all right. Banks shouldn't be promoting things that are bad for 99% of people. Do you agree with that?
Well, people that work in banks that are licensed to provide financial advice should be. That's their job. So they're financial advisors that work within banks, and their license / their job is to provide advice on what mortgages people should seek.
I have a question. I have two things actually I want to say. First things first is that, you know what, in 5 years, Dan, and I'm going to work so hard towards this, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. As a Black woman in the United States of America, you know what? I know that less than 1% of us become millionaires in this country. But you know what, Dan? I'm going to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my 50-year loan. I sure as fuck am. I'm going to get that 50-year loan and I'm going to be a millionaire, right? In 5 years. And guess what? When I get that 50-year loan, I'm going to refinance it. I'm going to refi it then. Okay, anywho, also, with that being said, Scott, because I know your name is Scott now. I didn't know what it was first. But Scott, did anyone predict 2008?
Michael Burry did.
Burry.
Only one guy predicted it?
Yeah, and talk about gambling. He took out swaps on it.
Oh, thank you. Wait, Ginger made a great point. Wait, Scott, banks don't have fiduciary duty.
What do you mean they don't have fiduciary?
So if a bank is offering a 50-year loan, they don't have to do it because it's in the best interest of the person. A financial advisor would have to, they're legally obligated, but a bank doesn't have to do that.
Well, they have a fiduciary duty to their shareholders. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, no, their shareholders are going to do great because the bank is going to collect 20 extra years of interest.
They do have a fiduciary duty then.
Yeah, but not to the people that they're giving the loans out to. The people that they're promoting the loans to, they do not have a duty to.
What business has a fiduciary?
That was your argument. Your argument was just that. Your argument was just that. When I said banks shouldn't be promoting things that are bad for 99% of people, you said, banks they should only get advice from their.
Yeah, they have wealth management. They have financial advice. They have wealth management sectors, so they have fiduciary duties to their clients. So they do. What they just said in the comments is wrong.
What percentage of people? What percentage of people do you think?
Management division.
What percentage of people are affected and get financial advice from wealth managers in this country?
You just asked a weird question too.
What's your point? I just proved you wrong.
No.
You didn't. Now you're moving the goalpost.
You have a bank, right? This is a bank. Boom. 4 walls. Okay. Person comes in, and thanks to President Trump, the bank says, actually, it's a great idea to get a 50-year mortgage because you pay $100 less a month. Okay? 99% of Americans, that is a bad idea. And you're okay with that?
No.
Then we're done. We agree. Thanks for coming up. I appreciate you. Appreciate your time.
What was that? Oh my God, my brain hurts. He said, what business has a fiduciary duty to their bro? So many. All right. You have like lawyers, all right, trustees, fucking real estate agents, which he's claimed to, I guess, have some knowledge in. We don't know. What? Investment bankers? Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? I hate it here. Not like here, Dan, but
So,
here.
really quick, Scott, I don't know if you're still in chat. I don't know if you probably weren't tracking with what just took place when you said that you agree that banks shouldn't promote 50-year mortgages to Americans. Then that's it. You spent 1 hour and 5 minutes of our time just to be a contrarian. You already agreed that you agreed that the president shouldn't be giving financial advice, but then you hand waved it and said, well, if it was financial advice, then he could be sued for it. You even did that with the medical advice that you didn't know about. We brought up that he was telling mothers not to take Tylenol, which is giving medical advice that he shouldn't. And you said, well, then why has it couldn't have been medical advice if he wasn't sued?
Turn like a pretzel.
Thank you, Aunt Savvy. Not only does that show that like you were arguing in bad faith, because obviously things can still be true even if people aren't punished for said things, but also you just didn't know about the logistics of where we are, what the Supreme Court ruling is on Trump's liabilities, what the how Congress feel. We didn't get a chance because he just wouldn't shut the fuck up. But there was a point earlier where he asked me in the middle of his monologue, "Oh, so you're saying that Congress is corrupt?" And I wanted to answer him. I'm upset that I wasn't able to answer him. Yes. Because what you were implying was that if Donald Trump committed a crime, then it's Congress's duty to impeach him, which is true. Obama. This Congress is corrupt in that regard. They would not impeach him. We've seen it time and time again where Donald Trump has committed crimes, and this Congress, the Republican Party, will not impeach him. Now, Scott, if you're still here, what you should be thinking is, oh, that's bad. Yes. Welcome to our team. Yes, that's bad. It is bad that the president can commit crimes without facing any kind of punishment. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Mermaid. And I don't understand why you decided to go through that whole rigmarole just to ultimately agree. Like, you could have just said from the start, 50-year mortgages are like a cool thing for real estate investors. And that's it. But you tried to imply that it's good for a med student, or it's good for someone that wants to own a home because they believe they'll make 5 times the income in 5 years. And it's not. It's just it's gambling.
Turn like a pretzel. Turn like a pretzel. Turn like
That's what he was doing. Thank you, Bicha. And I walked you through why the odds were so stacked against you. That gamble, it requires that med student to know they're going to graduate med school, know they're going to get a job where they bought the house, know that house specifically is going to increase in value exponentially. And also know that there is not going to be a better investment for them over the 5 years had they just saved the down payment and rented instead of getting into buying their coffin.
I just want to say that I really enjoy talking to people who think that they're smarter than me. It's a lot of fun because they simply just can't help themselves. I just love doing that. Also, in regards to businesses, when I did ask him the question and he couldn't answer about how many businesses fail in the first year because his whole thing was based on financial models, which is not a fully bad thing, but it is taking risk. And a lot of people, especially the average American, cannot afford to take such risk as he was saying because he was selling it as a guarantee. All right. There's no guarantee here when you're gambling. You're not guaranteed to win. But with that being said,
I'm just really quick. It's not that he was selling it as a guarantee. It's that he was selling it as if it could be a good risk to take.
It's a bad risk.
It's a bad, like, he might not have been implying that it was 100%, but the fact that he was implying it was anywhere even near 50% is the problem. Yeah. I just want to clarify that because I don't think he ever said like, oh, they'll definitely make. But the idea that it's a calculated
He
risk,
never
like
denied that it wasn't a guarantee. I just
yeah,
want to
that's
let you
fair.
know. I said it like 15 times, and he never denied that it was a guarantee. He just kept saying business models, financial models, financial models. I was like, no, you're gambling. And I don't like gambling. I go to Vegas with $20. Not fucking kidding you. I'll go to Vegas with $20. Once that $20 is gone, I'm going to go take a nap.
Going
That's
to his
it.
class tonight. Wait, the comments are popping off. Who's going to his class tonight? And then the one before it said, and then would describe gambling and then get mad at you calling it gambling.
Yes. Like, what? The fudge are we doing here? But anywho, within 5 years, about 50% of businesses do fail with financial models. So there's that 50%, and that's per the BLS. So I mean,
Lackluster
are
soldier.
you willing to take that risk? No. Okay. Sure.
Really quick, if y'all felt the pain that Eric and I have went through over that last guest, okay, and you appreciate all the facts that Erica was bringing, all the arguments that I was bringing, make sure to double check that you're following both of us. I really appreciate everybody that's here right now. If you're here for the first time, thank you for being here. We're live Friday and Saturday nights doing political debates, political discussions, and fact checks. So make sure you're following. If you'd like to support the live, Erica's links are in her bio. For my live, you can send a heart me. For those that have sent gifts or PayPal's and Venmos, and I know it's sent PayPal and Venmo, but if you choose to do that, nobody has to. I really appreciate it. But unless you're unless you would have been negatively impacted by Kamala's tax plan, so making over $400,000 a year, I really don't expect anything beyond like a heart me. But yeah, thank you all so much. And yeah, just make sure you're following. That's all.
I think I have a theme song for us, Dan. I don't want to make it weird or anything, but that song that goes like "Tag Team Back Again," whatever that song is. What's that song? I can't think of the
Thank
hook.
you, Bicha.
I can't think of the hook. I'm gonna Google it. But shout out to
Smart
Phil for
people
the
don't like
two.
me.
They don't. Shout out to Phil for the $2. Phil said, since this guy likes stats, and he said stupid people will mess up the 50-year mortgage if, well, the financial model. If 24% of the US is illiterate, how many people can use this? That's a word problem. Isn't that too live crew? Tag team back again. It's called, the name of the group is called Tag Team. Whoop, there it is. That's the name of the song. Remember that
Thank you,
song,
Sugu.
Dan?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I don't know if I know anything beyond the whoop there this part, but yeah, I do.
Whoop, there it is. Whoop. That's all I know too. I think that's, isn't that what they say in the song? That's it.
There's got to be other stuff.
All right. Okay. I go bye-bye now. I think you've had people in the request too.
Oh, do I? Okay.
Yeah. You're worse than me. You never look at your requests.
Well, lately I just feel like a lot of the requests are just people misclicking. Like
Guys, the name of the group is Tag Team. And the name of the song is Whoop, There It Is. I'm trying to tell y'all.
I think I think my the way I like interact with the live has changed so much since the MAGA drought of 2025. Like we just like before it was like there was a line out the door that wanted to come up and school me on something, but now they're just
Someone said Britney Spears. You know what Hector and I are doing on Sunday nights? MAGA
MAGA
hunting.
hunting. Yep.
Yeah.
I heard about that. I definitely want to be there if you decide to MAGA hunt the pissing guy.
Oh yeah, if I fucking find him, I'm totally joining. He is so stupid. He's not smart. He just says stuff.
He does just say stuff.
He was just saying stuff. It was
I
crazy.
think it's actually the older millennial. Someone else had the percentage 92, and it was just pulled out of their ass. Was it older millennial about?
It was about the Middle East oil supply.
Yes.
Yeah, it was 92. He said 92%, and I was like, that is wrong. That is so wrong. I'm peeing. I'm here.
Thank you, Neely.
Oh, I can't stop.
Okay,
It's 30%, bro.
I have two quick things. One,
Sure.
Martina, I don't know if you're still here. I'm just gonna skip to the Thanksgiving post because I'm sorry, we just couldn't get through it.
Martina.
And two, is 92% like their go-to fake stat? Because Trump literally just said that. Oh my god, I can't. They're forcing me to make a True Social account. Look,
No, you don't have to make one of that. Exit out of that.
it's okay.
You just exit out and then go back to the web page. You
Oh,
don't have to create
all right,
one.
cool.
Well, I ain't doing that. That's silly.
He just
It
had
won't be tracking me.
he just said some shit about 92%, right?
You have to read it like him, though.
Do you remember? Do you remember what it was that I just saw the 92% number?
Obama.
I guess right 92% of the time.
Do you want to do it? Because I'll do
Oh,
it.
it was Biden. It was Biden. That's what it was. He said 92% of Biden's signatures were auto pen.
Our country is being destroyed
How
by
many of his
stupid
were
people.
auto pen?
Thank you, Jenny.
Whitney's here. Hi, Whitney.
That's a damn lie.
Cap.
Thank you, Bicha. Is that just a go-to percentage for some fake stat?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this gentleman here said that MAGA is right 92% of the time. What source do you have to back that up?
I think he's
55.
trolling, Erica.
He has to be.
I'm not trolling. I was trying to be funny.
Are you really 55, white, and a millionaire?
They are actually correct. There's a little bit of a joke behind that name, but yes, it is correct.
What's your name? What can we call you?
Mark, I've talked to y'all before. Dan, I haven't talked to you probably about 3 or 4 months. Eric, I think I talked to you last time probably about 2 months ago. Yeah, I'm a Republican and conservative who has not voted for Trump for the last 8 years because he's a piece of dung.
Why do I slightly vaguely remember? Oh, okay,
I
so
use
you're
different
not a Trump
names.
supporter.
No. I'm a conservative Republican who lost his party. His party went away, so I've not been able to vote Republican since 2016. I guess was the last time I voted Republican.
Oh, cool.
Two things. One, has anyone ever told you kind of sound like Alex Jones?
I hear it more than I sound like one of the football players, Patrick Mahomes. I hear that a lot. I've got busted up vocal cords from screaming too much in my youth.
Gotcha. I'm not, to be clear, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just having a.
Alex Jones is the bad guy, though, isn't he? Isn't he a bad guy?
Oh yeah, he's a bad guy, but
He's
his
super
voice is very
bad.
unique.
Okay. Well, if I need a second career, I will be an impersonator. I don't know if he's the person I want to impersonate, but that'll be my backup plan in life.
Okay, I mean that's yeah. I think you do well. He's got a lot of good quotes. But okay, so the second thing I was going to ask was I do think I saw you in chat say something about how a 50-year mortgage is a good option, but you also said from like the perspective of someone who has $6 million in real estate. So
I guess what I don't understand, I mean, I think it's good to have choices, whether someone wants to do a 15, 30, or 50 year. I was trying to understand because I came in on the tail end of y'all's conversation with the other gentleman. Are y'all just saying it's too risky? Is that the problem with a 50 year?
so mostly the biggest problem
You'll never
is
pay it off.
the biggest problem is that it's not a good option for the vast majority of Americans, and the president is promoting it. Not just the president, but his administration is promoting it as if it is a good option for most Americans, and that's I think what the problem is.
There's a lot of countries outside of the United States that have like 90-year mortgages where it's like like a dad will do it and then his oldest son takes over. I think that's what Japan does. I mean, it's not like it's a unique thing. It's unique to the United States. So it's been around for a long time outside the United States. When you say it's risky or it's only good for the 1%, why is it risky for someone who's buying their first house? I mean, most people are not going to keep the mortgage for 50 years. Most people sell a house after 7 years. That's the average time that someone owns a house. So if you do the 50 year, you just have a lower payment. Why is that risky? That's what I don't understand.
Erica, do you want to take this or should I?
I think we have to look at the terms of the loan, like when we first buy homes. in the United States of America, again, is like around 40 years old. Most people don't have the financial literacy, so the wherewithal to know that they'll need to put that home in a trust. It's not a non-revocable. It's a non-revocable trust is what they'll need to put it in, and most people don't know that
Why would you
because
put your
once
home in a trust? Why would you do
you'll
that?
you'll put your home in a trust so that it won't end up in probate when you die.
Oh, Eric is talking about like
Yeah,
if she's comparing it to the example you gave in Japan, about people
yeah.
giving their homes to their
Right.
children.
To the people,
See, so
irrevocable. Thank you, Ange. I
yeah, it's
couldn't remember what it
irrevocable
was
avoids
called.
probate. Yeah, revocable still has
Yeah,
probate. Irrevocable avoids it. Why
yeah.
would you want to avoid probate? Certain states have
I
dirt
don't want it
cheap
to be
probate.
that though. I just want it to be able to be passed directly down to any descendants that I have. I don't want it to be caught in that so that they have to struggle, or it be a fight over the estate or anything of that nature. So we will want it to not go to probate because I don't want the state having any type of claim to the home. I want it to just be able to pass down to my children to ensure that they're able to actually take over the property. So why would you not want to avoid probate is a question I have. Like, well, why would you not want to avoid it?
Well, I'll say it from this standpoint. Look, I'm not an expert, but my job, I deal with people. I do the investments when they pass away. The house typically just goes directly to somebody. I mean, the probate in, let's say, Texas is a, there's almost no cost to it. It's very simple. Now, if you have a super complex estate, yes, but 99% of people do not need to put a house in a trust. It just goes directly to the kids or whoever they will it to. I mean, there really isn't any fight in
Well,
that scenario. The state has no decision in the process either. I mean, it's just if you have a will, even if you don't have a will, you just put a TOD, transfer on death, on that house. It gets expensive. You start putting stuff in trust. I've seen lawyers make money by telling people to put everything in trust. Most of the time, you don't need it in a trust. But I think we're getting away from the whole 50-year, though. I'm not sure where we went down this rabbit hole because this is a whole
So
different conversation.
basically, it's basically a matter of not a lot of people, and also I don't think that it actually gets messy with trust, but that's just my opinion. We can have a difference of opinion on that.
Yeah, of course.
But in regards to the 50-year mortgage, is simply more money for people, is more money. And for me, in my opinion, I wouldn't want a 50-year mortgage becoming the standard for people because you're literally paying on this for a lifetime. A 30-year mortgage is more feasible in regards to paying it off sooner. All right. Or even if you did have to go to full 30 years, you still may have a few years based on life expectancies to actually enjoy the home. Just depends. All right. So either way you look at it, it is a risk, but the risks are less with a 30-year mortgage than it is with the 50.
So you're just saying that it's because it's paid off quicker. That's what y'all talking about. Risk is having the house paid off
Pretty
quicker.
much. And less
Okay.
money out of pocket.
I think there's a little bit more
And
to
also
it.
the save isn't that great either.
It's another thing is the risk that this would be a better decision financially than just renting.
You're saying it's better to buy or better to rent or what? Say
So
it again,
okay,
Dan. I didn't understand.
all right. So there are when Americans make the choice of whether to buy a home or whether to rent a home, right? The some of them should probably rent, some of them should probably buy, but the math that needs to be done to make that decision for a 50-year mortgage starts to become really really bad. To the point where, like I was saying before, for 99% of Americans, this would be a bad decision. And the reason is what you're doing by taking out a 50-year mortgage is, I think Erica said after the first 20 years, so to catch up to where a 30-year mortgage would have started, you were only paying 11% of the principal. Is that right? First 20 years was 11%. So,
Sounds right.
Yes, that's right. That's
what
right.
you're doing is you're betting on the home you're purchasing not either stagnating or decreasing in value. Because if it is, then you're not going to be able to refinance if and when interest rates go down. Versus if you just rent it, and then you could buy a house when you can afford to make the proper mortgage payments that would actually pay off some of the principal. Additionally, what you're doing is you're gambling against your need to move in 5, 10, 20 years. You're gambling against the opportunity cost lost by had you just rented, because you're going to be losing money on repairs versus if you rented. You're going to be putting in a down payment that possibly you'll never get back because if you're upside down on the mortgage, or even if you're not upside down on the mortgage, but you just paid more than the down payment in interest for 20 years. All of that goes into the decision, and for most Americans, it would never make sense. There's just no universe where this is a good idea for people that aren't um, like the example that the last guy brought up that I actually did agree with is if you're a real estate investor and you're just buying multiple homes to rent out or Airbnb or whatever you want to do with them, because then you have a higher cash flow because you have a lower mortgage payment. You actually don't care about paying off the home because your renters are paying off your home. But for most people, it would be like a really, really, really bad investment.
So I think I'm going to tell me if I'm wrong. The risk is someone who should be a renter, they shouldn't take the risk of buying a house with a 50-year mortgage, because more people can afford a house with a 50-year mortgage versus a 30-year mortgage. So there's going to be some people who should just not be buying a house. They should continue to rent. I think, is that what you're saying?
Or they should do a 30-year mortgage, and because the president of the United States is telling them that a 50-year mortgage is going to save them money, they might end up doing that.
And it's not. It's not going to save them money. That's the whole thing. It's just not going to save them any money. And I think a lot of things was happening, like with the last guy, is that there were a lot of assumptions about what would change for the people over time when none of that is guaranteed. The only thing that we know that is guaranteed about taking a 30-year mortgage versus a 40-year mortgage, I mean 40, but 50-year mortgage, is that you would pay off the 30-year mortgage sooner because it's only 30 years instead of 50. Also, that you would acquire or accrue equity in your property sooner, simply because you'd be paying towards the principal sooner on a 30-year than you would a 50-year. I'm not going to kid you. My brain is fried.
It's pretty late to be talking numbers like this. I guess my understanding was the whole point of the 50-year, even just being a choice, was so that more people could even buy a house. That would just open the door. And there are a huge amount of people who pretty much the only money they've made in their life is the equity that they built up in their house. So I guess they're trying to improve the number of people that are able to buy a house. But yeah, I understand.
It's
now
giving,
you're talking about people
2008.
who maybe should never.
If the goal is just
yeah, but the rules are so much stricter. We're not going to have another 2008 probably for a long time, just because all the rules and regulations.
But Mark, the thing is that it's not a benefit to the home buyer, because yeah, their monthly payment may be lower, but again, they're paying like an extra 15 years, 15 years of interest. That's a lot of money over time. And then also, so the only people that is benefiting, all right, are the people who own the banks, the people that benefit from that. All right. So the people who do the investor-backed mortgages, those people, the mortgage company, the Chases, the Rocket Mortgage, those people, they benefit from it.
The companies that originate the mortgages and hold on to. So I guess
Yeah,
bottom line, if a
we
house
don't hold it, we don't get that, we don't benefit from it.
Historically, real estate, like residential, is average around a 3% increase per year. So if you have a $200,000 house versus a $250,000 house, you have more money that's growing at 3%. So if you do
First of
sell your
all,
house after 7 years,
where you finding a $200,000 house at? I would love to know.
come on down to
So
Houston. I can show you around here in Houston. There's a lot of $200,000 houses in Houston, Texas.
you can
But
have a
before you go,
zero.
Martina,
Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to, Martina. I'm so sorry. Whitney, I don't know if you want me to read this out. If you do, I will in a moment. But thank you so much for the $5. Also, shout out to Phil for the $2. Phil said in the 12, there was another one. Only 33% of people have end of life plans. Again, these people who have financial literacy think it's normal for everyone to have it or ability to have it. Exactly. Hopefully, this helps white people see where privilege comes from. But that's the thing. It's like, We're expecting the average person to have this information and they simply don't. All right. And more than 33% of Americans are homeowners, but yet only 33% of Americans have an end of life plan. Also, Whitney wants everyone to know that she has a confession with the blackout on purchasing. She went Black Friday shopping today and she bought 12 boxes of Little Debbie cakes. Treat yourself, girl. Treat yourself. All right, I'm shushing now.
Hey, Martina.
Yes, so bottom line, like I don't want to bore everyone, so I mean I'll step down. But I guess like I hate about 99% what Trump's done.
Before you step down, so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
For zero risk, you can have a 4.5, like a 4 to 4.5% return right now. So
Where's that?
immediately, zero risk assets are
There's
bonds.
CDs, right? Banks are offering CDs right now for.
Yeah, they're under they're about 3.75 right now. A Treasury is going to get you 4% right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got
it's zero risk for a higher percent return, and you're talking about 3% on real estate that you could go upside down on. I requested up because you came up talking about Japan. Japan was going through a housing crisis and a market bubble when they launched the 100-year debt, like the 100-year option. The bubble burst and all of those went upside down, and Japan no longer offers 100-year mortgages. Like specifically what we're talking about right now in terms of trying to create a relief in the housing market by creating these insane debt vehicles that just don't make sense economically. For Japan specifically led into the burst of a bubble, and a lot of families went completely upside down.
What wasn't part of Japan's problem though, the demographic problem? Because they have such a large gray population. They don't have people that are even buying houses anymore. There's too many houses. They have more houses than they have people over there in Japan.
Their housing bubble burst. And like in the 80s and 90s, they were giving these 100-year options. And then the bubble burst. It went upside down. Now they have declining population, I believe. But like at the end of the day, these vehicles are responses to market pressures where things are getting too expensive and putting a lot of low-income households into debt when you have prices that are going up at the rate that they're going up and a bubble that's about to burst is really just predatory and inadvisable spending. And you can have guaranteed return on that down payment by buying treasuries and do much better.
Yeah, but you're not comparing apples to oranges because in that scenario, yes, you've got their 4% risk free. But if you buy a house and you average a 3% appreciation, you're also not paying rent. You got to factor in if you buy your riskless investment earning 4%, you're still paying rent somewhere.
Hold on. Sure, but if you're paying rent and your rent would be equal to or less than what your mortgage payment would be, and mortgage payment plus all the costs of repairs and upkeep, then you wind up losing because in the 50-year scenario, the first, 5 to 10 years, you don't gain any equity.
Yeah, there's very little bit.
You don't gain equity. You're taking on risk, and so you're just throwing your money away.
So I mean, the 30-year would be the same as a 50-year, though. You're taking the same amount of risk.
In 5 years, you have far more equity in your home.
Yeah, but how much? Not much more. It's pretty minuscule.
No, it's significantly more.
Significantly more.
How much? Are we talking 10%? Are you talking 30%? 5%? What do you mean? How much?
Erica had the whole breakdown earlier.
I guess my point is 99% of what Trump and his administration has done is horrible. I fully agree with that. I just saw this as, hey, let's give people a choice. It's not that anyone has to do it. I don't understand why giving someone a choice. I see where you're all saying predatory. You're saying it's predatory.
A well-informed, well-intentioned choice or a predatory choice? An illusion of choice. We do not educate our population about finance at all. It's not something that's taught in elementary, middle, or high school. It's not guaranteed that people have been educated on these things. And it's for large portions of the population who cannot currently afford a home, they probably also haven't had access to the same level of financial education. So they don't see the risk. They don't see the risk or predatory nature of the loans.
And I agree with everything you just said, by the way. Americans do not educate themselves. They don't take the time to do it, and the schools obviously don't do it. I guess I don't see
Hold on,
a difference between a 30 and a 50 year.
Don't make this about like Americans are lazy. They don't take the time to teach themselves because the
Didn't
country
say they're
itself
lazy.
intentionally.
They're distracted. They're distracted. They're not lazy.
Well, no, but like, hold on, they're not properly resourced or given the access to that education or that knowledge, right? If you have this knowledge, you come from a place of privilege. Like there's just there's no way around it.
It's all on the internet nowadays. All the
Yeah,
information's
it's
out
all
there.
on the internet. It's all on the internet that you need access to. You need to know what to look up. You need to know what to look for. You need to go and do a deep dive into economics and housing markets and understand a lot of the ins and outs, not just of basic financial modeling, but economies at scale to do this thing well. It is like it's an incredibly privileged place to sit here and be able to have an intellectual conversation about the numbers in a housing market and risk return ratios.
I think y'all are overthinking buying a house. But you know what? I may be privileged then. I mean, I grew up poor. I made money. Life worked out great. But I hear what you're saying. I'm not gonna sit there and say no.
How do you hold on? I also grew up without a lot. I've got 2 disabled parents, and I wound up on the other side of it. And it's because I grew up in one way and have landed on the other side of that I understand how much privilege I sit in right now, and the fact that this shit is clearly predatory.
Buying a house is the biggest financial decision that you'll make. I'm so happy for you that it's just another Sunday morning, all right, when you go buy a fucking house. But like buying a house is like a huge, huge, huge step. It's a massive decision. So yes, I want people to overthink buying a house to make sure that they are making the right decision. And a 50-year loan is way too risky for people to get into. All right. Nobody needs to be in a 360 death row deal with their house. All right. No one needs to be literally renting from the bank. I think that is just so silly. I don't know. People have more options. Okay, but is it a good option, sir? It's not. It's really not a good option. Dan, my brain hurts. I can't take it no more. I want to go yell at racist.
That's my problem. I apologize. I'm not really excited. So the last thing though, so do you think a 30-year mortgage is
My brain
predatory or
hurts.
not, Erica?
I
Yes or
don't
no?
think that, no, probably when it first came out because it was unknown. And we probably could use the same argument for the 50-year mortgage because I am a pragmatic person, so I can see both sides. I can look at all the variables. I looked at the variables of a 50-year mortgage. It's not a good idea. All right. There's too much risk involved in it. All right. And yeah, it's a bad idea. That's all I got. And the president shouldn't be promoting it.
I'm good with that.
Right.
Thanksgiving tweet.
Yeah, I already have it pulled up.
Trump voice.
I realized we weren't going to be able to just keep going through the
Hey, have a good night, Mark.
If y'all get bored, call me and we'll talk more about 50-year and 30-year. No, I'm joking. Yeah, no, it's no fun. It's boring. Y'all have a great evening. Appreciate
You too.
it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Do it in the Trump voice.
Okay, I will try.
Please. Thanks.
Okay.
What is that picture you keep flashing?
A very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all our great American citizens and patriots. But I can't do it. It's so bad. I can't do it. I feel there's so many better impressions. Like
my impression is the best, and I'm like sitting here telling you to do it, bro. Come on, do it. It's awesome.
let me just. Oh, it's long. I can't even. My throat's gonna hurt if I read this. Okay.
That's the point.
Oh, someone
It
peeing?
gets better.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yes. I'm peeing.
I can't stop peeing. I'm so sorry. I'm wetting myself.
Thank you, Ice Cold. You are doing great. All right. Okay. A very happy salutation, blah, 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 who have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries throughout the world for being politically correct. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I feel I can't. It hurts me. It viscerally hurts me to imitate that guy.
And more accordion. I was about to tell her you need more hands, bro. Come on. Why not? It's funny.
And just plain stupid, all caps, when it comes to immigration. The official United States foreign population stands at 53 million people, census parentheses, most of which are on welfare from failed nations or from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, or drug cartels. Okay. They and their children are supported through massive payments from patriotic American citizens. He capitalized it like it's hack. Like, who, because of their beautiful hearts, do not want to openly complain or cause trouble in any way, shape, or form. They put up with what has happened to our country, but it's eating them alive to do so. A migrant earning $30,000 a year with a green card will get roughly $50,000 a year in yearly benefits for their family. The real migrant population is much higher. This refugee burden is the so with a green card, but now refugee. This refugee burden is the leading cause of social dysfunction in America, something that did not exist after World War II.
The hell is he talking about?
Chad, did you know there was no social dysfunction after World War II? None at all.
Can I read the rest? Can I read the rest? I'm sorry, I'm a child.
Failed schools, high crime, urban decay,
I
overcrowded
got the next
hospitals,
paragraph.
housing shortages, and large deficits. Oh my god. If I actually went through all he literally is causing half of these single-handedly. Like overcrowded hospitals are going to be a bigger issue because of the changes to what is it? Medicaid, right? And the big beautiful bill. So he's gonna exacerbate that problem. Housing shortages actually would potentially be exacerbated by 50-year mortgages because there's going to be people that are buying homes that shouldn't buy homes. But anyway, large deficits. Excuse me. As an example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey, quote unquote, as our wonderful people stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping against hope that they will be left alone. Oh, this was in his Thanksgiving tweet?
No, this wasn't his Thanksgiving tweet. Dan, I'm about to send you a
it
site
is.
where you don't. No, it's not.
That's
Is it?
Thanksgiving tweet.
It's all the same thing.
It's all his Thanksgiving tweet.
Jesus Christ. He rambles. He's worse than the financial models guy.
Walls does nothing either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst quote unquote congressman / woman in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab and who probably came into the USA illegally, in that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country, its constitution, and how badly she is treated when her place of origin is a decadent, backward, and crime-ridden. Decadent, backward, and crime-ridden nation, which is essentially not even a country for lack of government, military, police.
Come on, man.
This motherfucker ran out of characters. He ran out of characters. What are we doing?
I mean, he fit a lot into this. Fit in. Okay, so first of all, he fit in fear mongering. Fit in false statistics. He fit in xenophobia. Fit in Islamophobia. He fit in projection. He fit in conspiracy theories. And did I miss any?
World War II.
Oh my god! And he fit in time period erasure. I
sent you a link for basically they archive all of his posts as they come. It tells you what's been deleted also. Roll call. It's called, and yeah, they archive all that shit, so you don't have to go to True Social.
Oh, I didn't even know. I actually use roll call when I look up the president's schedule. I didn't realize they had this part of it.
It's pretty cool. That is a very long. I feel like I just want to make a video reading this as Trump. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do his Christmas message like that.
What do you think that one will be about?
Oh my God.
Oh well,
Healthcare subsidies.
the liberals are taking the Christ out of Christmas or something, like the war on Christmas. But
and Starbucks didn't release a holiday cup.
But he's gonna say that because he won the election in 2024, Americans can say Merry Christmas again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually certain that part. He will
Feliz
mention
Navidad.
Happy Christmas.
Merry Crisis. Message of incoherent babble.
Merry Christmas.
Oh my God! Yeah, the annual pass. I forgot about this.
What is that picture?
What?
I think it's him and Clinton cuddling.
Oh yeah.
What is this picture? I keep trying to think, like, what is that? Okay.
I pass it? What earlier? The National Park Pass, I think it was. Yeah, he put his picture on the annual National Park Pass next to George Washington.
Oh, isn't he also getting?
Holy man, you have
also
to look at roll call.
Oh, I couldn't expand it on roll call.
You can. You'll just have to go. But if you look at the tweet that you just read, that was done November 27th at 11:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, right above it on November 28th at 12:10 a.m., he tried to do another one, but he wasn't successful. He tried to do another one.
Which tweet are we talking about?
Read it.
The Thanksgiving one that you read, that super long dissertation, that one.
Oh,
But
delete
then
it.
right after,
Oh, wait.
right after that, he said, "A very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all of our great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice." You're gonna let me finish this. So nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at with certain other foolish countries throughout the world.
So
he tried again.
This is on X. He didn't want to get community noted. Is the problem?
What's wrong with him?
As bad as X is, there the number. Once you start including numbers, you're gonna get community noted. So that's why he cut it short. In my opinion, and
he ended with a comma instead of a period.
Martina, you said something like 30 seconds ago.
I said Erica should read it.
Oh,
she did.
And I heard her, and I did. Thank you, Martina.
Site to go to for True Social. Okay, so this is rollcall.com. And this is FactBase. Donald Trump social media archive. Oh, this is great because I didn't even see it. It also has the link to the True, so I actually don't have to go to True Social. I can press the link. Thank you, Erica. Yep. This will be very useful.
Awesome.
Okay. I think we might be done for the night.
I need a nap. Okay, bye. All right, Danimals, you guys are awesome. Martina, you're fantastic. Dan, you're my TikTok bestie. Love you. Bye.
See you. Bye.
Someone drop me. I can't do it.
Any final thoughts, Mark?
This motherfucker's crazy. Other final thought. If you live in a major city where ICE is and you don't have a whistle yet, get a whistle. Whistles are ways that community are alerting that there is ICE around. So if you are in one of these communities, 1, get a whistle. 2, if you see ICE. 3, short bursts if you see them. 3, long bursts if you see them actively taking somebody. That's how all of these videos that you see going viral with large crowds swarming, the whistle system is how a lot of local neighborhoods are communicating and getting alerts out quickly. So
I didn't know that. So thank you very
yeah.
You
And
said three short for if you see ice, three long if
3 short if you see ice, so like tweet, 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 and
yeah.
3 long, like tweet, 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 if they're taking somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, are they idle or are they actively engaged? And if you follow some of the immigration coalitions accounts, they have a lot of information, but make sure you're getting tied into your local immigration coalition or immigration justice group so that you can turn out. That's my final thought.
Thank you so much, Martina.
Feliz Navidad.
Okay, Anne just sent me the second half of the tweet. The second half of the Thanksgiving tweet. Oh God. Oh, the Thanksgiving truth. Okay, there's more. Even as we have progressed technologically, immigration policy has eroded those gains and living conditions for many. I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. to fully recover, terminate all of the millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's autopen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country, denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. These goals will be pursued with the aim of achieving a major reduction in illegal and disruptive populations, including those admitted through an unauthorized and illegal autopen approval process. Only reverse migration can fully cure this situation. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all, except those that hate, steal, murder, and destroy everything that America stands for. You won't be here for long. Stephen Miller wrote that. Trump doesn't say eroded. This is so Stephen Miller coded. Yeah. Yeah, so that's horrifying. I want to put some emphasis on denaturalized migrants who undermine domestic tranquility. You know what? I'm just going to say it. I think Donald Trump is a bad president. Okay, Mario Live. Who denaturalized Trump's skin? All right, y'all. If you enjoyed the live and you're not following, now is your chance. Limited time offer. Free today, Black Friday on the East Coast. East Coast Black Friday. You got 11 minutes. Right next to my name, there should be either an orange heart or a gray heart. If you see a red oval that says follow, that means you're not following. So drop that follow. We're going to shout out our top 3 likers. Oh my God, that's a lot of taps. Aficionado, Avocado, Call Me Madonna, and Mel. Thank you so much for being the top 3 likers, tappers, interactive viewers. Thank you all so much. Okay. We are also going to shout out anybody that doesn't spend an hour and 10 minutes arguing about 50-year mortgages for the sake of arguing. Shout out to all of those people. Thank you, Ice Cold, for the raving snail. I got to get better at ending lives. I don't know how to do it. Thank you, Ice Cold. Wisconsin could buy. Wait, what's a Wisconsin? I know an Irish could buy. Ending lives reported. I think he's still arguing the 50-year mortgages. Long and drawn out. Okay. Oh, we gotta rate somebody. Okay, hold on. All right. Blue screen us or turn off your Wi-Fi and let it do the work for you. Okay. Mezzo just plays music increasingly louder until the guests get frustrated and he ends the live. Kind of funny. Ooh, I like Carbon's background. Why are MAGA so easily offended? Okay. Can somebody... His guests are great too. Can somebody type out Carbon's @ so I can pin it? Thank you, Liam. Oh, pinned it for me. Thank you so much, Liam. All right, y'all. Twitch and YouTube, it's been real. I should be live again tomorrow night. If I find time, I do want to play a little bit of Mario. I don't know if anybody, we had like 11 people there, but we beat Super Mario Eclipse. Now the post game is open. So if you want to watch me beat the Bowser, the VOD is on the YouTube. But yeah, I'll try to fit that in maybe Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. Twitch and YouTube. Love y'all. Have a good night.